Don't listen to this if you're a pussy.
Bretzky!
What?
Get your ass over here!
All rise! It's the VIPOD.
Come get it while it's hot. Season 2 is just gonna smell like a fried chicken fire log in here. Squirt. Squirt, 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 squirt. You know what our listeners want to hear? What? I don't know either. Where's that cactus? We should just have the cocaine song as our intro.
What the
I'm in the Migrin. Did you just try to play footsie with me? You know who I really hate?
Tommy, I am your father.
Oh, so now we're doing movie quotes?
Yep.
Run, Bretzky, run! Are you recording?
Yep.
No, but really, are you recording? Yeah. I get it. I see what you're doing here.
You may be seated. I am the greatest one, Wayne Bretzky, alongside the Tommy Show 1.0, and we got a whole lot of extra people here today. We got the nomad.
Hits, welcome.
And coming in hot, we're also bringing in our guest, Scotty Dangerously. Man, every time I say your name, remember Scotty Too Hottie from wrestling?
Yes.
I always want to say Scotty Too Dangerously.
Well, if you did, you just bring me back to every middle school memory.
Scotty doesn't know.
No, that was high school
I know,
memories.
but that's what brings. Yeah, that's what. Every time I hear your name,
Middle school was reserved for Scotty Too Hottie. In high school went to Scotty Doesn't Know.
Yeah. So for everybody that's listening or watching on YouTube, right there and there and there, Scott E. Dangerously.
I don't even know where the cameras
He's
are.
he's almost like a celebrity because this fucking guy calls into 106 so often that people already start knowing.
I haven't called in months, man.
Well, it's been months since I listened.
We don't
Anyways,
listen to the show.
Well, but it actually started calling into 92.
No.
Or was it just
I never-
the
It was just the
podcast?
It was just the podcast. I never
just the
called in.
Wheeler's podcast, Wheeler After Dark.
But it was starting from the early days.
Yeah, so I had a call back in...
Loads! I've got one of these farmery. It's called a beer Caesar.
Wow.
I heard it's
So
gross.
it's not like...
Yeah, move your thumb,
Yeah,
idiot.
it's not one of those like beer. It's not a beer and clam. It's a beer Caesar. So I...
Bretzky the hand model here.
Yeah.
Regular George Costanza.
I've been compared to George Costanza on so many different levels. It's
By
not even
who?
funny.
So if they bring back the Mick DLT, are you going to do the commercial for it then? Because only Bretzky can keep the hots hot and the cools.
I have a studio. We can do it.
I
so
got
we
a
can
pocket
record it.
McDLT.
Yikes.
But yeah, Scotty, you're also I guess a new podcaster because you guys have your own podcast right now.
Yeah, I've kind of...
New? It's older than this one, isn't it?
No, I jumped
See, you're
on-
not in the loop.
Yeah, I jumped onto the Whiskey Tango podcast as a sort of kind of producer.
Yeah.
Kind of the Jamie to Brett and Denzel's Joe Rogan there.
Yeah.
So kind of doing that right now. And then Brett and I also decided to finally pull the trigger on the Dangerously Incomparable Podcast. So so episode 6 drops this week, which I don't know when you guys drop it.
We do it every Friday.
Every Friday,
Yeah.
so this will come out.
Video comes out on Thursday, and then audio comes out on Friday.
Well, that's just every podcaster's wet dream. You got Dangerously Incomparable on Wednesday. You got Whiskey Tango Thursday.
There you go.
You got the VIPOD
Right.
on Friday.
Yeah, I know.
That's a pretty good lineup. If you
It
ask
sounds
me.
like a live show in the works.
It does.
Yeah,
I need you to talk to Brett for me though, because
Okay.
anything that he has
Look in the
released
mirror.
since he came to our show, my phone won't load in Spotify. I press play and it just is like, nope. And I asked him, I messaged him one time. I'm like, hey, have you been getting any issues with your upload? And he's like, no, I can listen to it just fine.
So there's this app called YouTube. You can go on YouTube and watch a live stream. Well, not live, but yeah, you can watch a stream of the show on there.
Well, I'll start following you guys there because on Spotify I cannot. It refuses to let it happen on my phone. I've been trying to listen to Whiskey Tango and Your guys'
You almost said I've been trying to listen to Wayne Bretzky show.
Yeah, Wayne Bretzky.
Well, that's coming Tuesdays.
Yeah.
That's going to be part of the podcast lineup. It's going to be Brett going solo on Tuesdays.
Taco
No,
Tuesdays.
Yeah.
You and I doing something?
Isn't every
Let's talk about sex, baby.
isn't every
Sex
Brett
show.
Tuesday a
About you
Taco
and
Tuesday
me.
though?
That's true.
You guys can do the Sunday night sex show
Yeah,
like
yeah,
old
the-
Sue used to do.
Yeah.
Get the old wooden doll out
Yeah,
and be
yeah,
like,
yeah.
this is the position you get in, okay?
You guys want to?
Can I use my cactus?
She didn't have an accent at all. I don't know why I gave
Can
her
I
an
use my
accent there.
cactus, Bretzky? Will you let me use it?
Yeah,
Okay,
I'll
perfect.
let you use it. Yeah, that'll be the sex cactus.
Yeah.
I got a quick side note there. Funny story. You guys remember the show Kink on Showcase?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, it was on like every.
I didn't watch it, but I just remember seeing the previews all the
It
time.
was on Saturdays on Showcase right before I think Red Shoe Diaries or whatever they put on.
I also have never heard of that show.
Yeah, right.
Anyways, yeah. On,
By the way, those shoes were really good. Really nice. Anyways.
all right, easy there, David Duchovny. All right, so, anyways, yeah, on Kink they were they had a doctor on there, and he was a doctor at the hospital where I grew up, the local hospital there. He was I don't know what kind of doctor he was, but he resided
Gynecologist.
there. My mom,
When
who
in
worked in the
doubt,
same hospital, knew the
gynecologist.
guy. Absolute creep.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, just after that episode came out, nobody at the hospital would talk to him. They're just like,
Nice.
"You're a pervert. We're staying away from you."
That is awesome.
Yeah.
But so yeah, we'll talk about your new podcast.
Sure.
We'll talk about a little bit the art show that we went to see. Nomad had a little art show on Friday, which was so much fun. We'll talk about that. But
Well, you weren't drinking, you fucking weirdo. I was like, Bretzky seems off tonight.
hey, you know what? It was Friday
driving.
night. Bretzky does not drink on Fridays. Okay, only on Tuesdays when we record.
Pretty much,
And
actually.
then every hockey game and
and every Bomber game and every day ending in Y.
yeah. But Scotty, are you a pet owner?
Yes.
Okay, so you three are pet owners, and I have this great topic I want to get into that happened on Discord today. Did you manage to
I know
read
where
up on it?
I know where you're going with this.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I promised I'm not gonna name AG's name, so I'm not gonna name her name. So a certain individual came home today late to let the dogs out, and she slipped on some poo.
I've been there.
And
Shoes
then,
still on or no shoes? The devil's in the
I don't
details
think that was
here.
clarified. I don't think it was clarified.
Okay.
But she slipped on it and fell. Actually hurt herself a
So
little
her
bit.
shoes were off.
Probably.
Okay.
And then I went into the bathroom. The garbage was fucking ripped apart, and there was more poo, right? And then I was just like, well, you know, like, first of all, that's what you get for getting a dog, and you know, like, whatever. I'm not a pet owner, right? Like I grew up with pets.
No, you-
He
being,
has fish.
well, not anymore.
Oh, no.
Franco died. Yeah, Cosmo. Oh no, Franco died 2 weeks after we got him, and then Cosmo lived for like a year, and that's it. Anyways, so yeah, like we're not pet owners at
He's
all.
fully within his rights to shit talk pets.
Exactly. Yeah, and like I grew up with my grandparents having dogs outside on the leash, like on the chain or in the field, but like it's not a house dog, right?
Right.
And the best pet I've ever had was a turtle, a piranha, and a gerbil. That's it. Like those were allowed. Like those were allowed. That's it.
We all know.
What
You
happened
don't
to
even
the
need to.
They
gerbil?
died. All died.
You don't even need to use your imagination.
Yeah, tell us.
That's
Tell
why
us.
Tommy's farts are so raunchy.
The gerbil's still there.
It's still there.
Please continue, Richard Gere. Tell us more.
But so anyway, so I was
you come on over here?
I started shit talking basically like, well, that's what you get, you know, for having a dog. And she said this like, that's it, no treats for the dog. I'm like, well, okay, like that's kind of like mean. Like you don't know if the dog is maybe sick, upset, you know, stressed out, whatever, like pooped because of that, right? Like, I mean, I can compare it to my kids because some dog owners say they're parents and they celebrate fucking Mother's Day and Father's Day because
Punch
they're
them
dog
in the
owners.
throats.
I know, exactly. I fucking hate that. But
Not
anyways,
even close to the
anyways,
same.
I know. Anyways, but I was like, you know,
It's
Gonna
so
punch you in
much
the throat
better.
after the show.
so much better.
So much better.
It is. It is really.
But
Like,
my kids
I never
have,
said that.
My kids have threw up all over me and shit their pants, And I didn't punish them for that. Like, it's just like, okay, like clearly there's something going on, you know.
We
like
just need to clarify. In Slovakia,
didn't-
they do not consider physical violence punishing.
No, exactly.
You didn't stick their noses in it.
Yeah, exactly. So, and I was just like getting this, like, why are you punishing the dog? I'm not punishing the dog. I'm like, well, you're not giving it a treat today, so that's technically kind of punishing.
It's going
right?
to think it did something wrong.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? And then they're like, well, the dog knows that it's shit all over the place. I'm like, well, wait a second.
So does she think it did something wrong or it didn't do something wrong?
yeah, she's like, yeah, they did it on purpose because I showed up late to let them out. I'm like, well, okay, so whose responsibility it is to show up on time or train your fucking dog to last all day? Like, I had a blast just like going back and forth and just like I was
Shit
a keyboard warrior today.
I
Yeah.
think we need to take like a CSI approach to really get to the bottom of this. Like number one,
Should we pull up-
what was the consistency of this poop? Are we talking like a fresh loaf or was it like
Was it the Amber Heard style where there was logs on the pillow?
yeah, or are we talking
I
just a Jackson Pollock painting?
I mean,
Like,
it was.
What are we talking?
I mean,
about?
it was wet enough for it, to slip on. So I don't know. If it was like a
Well,
hard,
then it might be sick, and in which case, no, you don't discipline a dog if it's sick and it's shit. No,
right?
Of course
Exactly. And
Yeah.
I mean, but again, even then, like the dog is expecting. Let's say, just for example, is expecting you to get home by noon.
Yeah, if I get home late and my dog has an accident, I mean,
Do you punish your dog? Like,
well, no, she's pretty old and she can't hold it very long.
Yeah,
she
so-
wears a diaper now.
yeah,
when I leave
which
the
is really
house.
fucking cute, by the
It's
way.
adorable.
But yeah, exactly. So I was
Until
just
you
like-
have to take it off.
and the reason I want to share this story because I know it's going to generate maybe some phone calls for next show. So
Yeah, she's gonna call yelling.
Is it really, though?
I don't know. We'll find out next week.
We do lots of things to generate phone calls, but
If you want to talk about feces, call a VIPOD.
But if you
It
guys
worked for the Wheeler
want,
After Dark show.
Yo, jeez.
if you guys want, I can read the message.
My favorite part of that was, are we crossing the brown line? I think we're crossing the brown line.
Absolutely, yeah.
That
we
lasted for like a month too. It was
we crossed it. What,
beautiful.
the first episode, or maybe
Yeah.
the second, when I told my
yeah,
shit story.
with the plunger at the party.
Oh man,
It's
1 year old.
hilarious.
Have you heard that one, Scotty? Yeah, I went to 1 year old's birthday party with my kids and friend's house, and basically I plugged the toilet.
you know what, Tommy?
Listen to the episode.
No.
Oh,
Because I don't think that
Oh, yeah,
episode
it's
is
not-
really around.
That's
Yeah.
underground.
Maybe you should tell that
Sure.
story.
okay. So
He was.
yeah,
He
I-
just was.
I got some really shitty beer Caesar to drink here. I'm not gonna lie, I hate this. It's not even good.
All right.
So I was gonna give you the quick version, but yeah. So basically, it was my son's my buddy's.
on.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, is it? Okay.
yeah.
I just
I hear
all
you.
of a sudden can't hear it, so.
Oh, yeah, I can hear you.
All right.
It might be our headphones.
Keep-
Wiggle
Probably.
your. Where's...
There it goes. Yeah.
Okay, so
That's
it's
the connection here.
don't fucking move. So it was
Easy,
my
officer.
it was my buddy's son's first birthday, right? It was summertime. We were all in the backyard. I'm like, okay, I'm going to the basement shitter. I need to take a poo, And then,
Yep.
I, went and did my business. I flushed the toilet, and just like it fills up. I'm like, oh no, it's not going down. It's coming up. I'm like, I'll try one more time, and it came up like
Wrong
just
direction.
below the lip. And I'm like, oh fuck! So I go outside, and there's tons of people because it's the kid's first birthday, right? You invite everyone, right? So I'm like, hey, Trevor.
Even Tommy.
Yeah, big mistake.
Baby's doing
I'm
a
like-
cake smash. Tommy's playing with poo in the basement.
I'm like,
He's doing the cake smash with his poo.
or as we call it in my household, Saturday.
yeah. So I'm like, Trevor, where's your plunger? He's like, oh no, what did you do? I'm like, don't worry about it. I got it.
Did you remember to turn the water off?
Oh yeah.
Like that's
it-
the number one thing I
yeah.
always tell.
Well, I
Did
still
you turn
had
the water
I
off?
still had
first?
enough. Once it got below the lip, then I turned the water
Yeah,
off in
okay.
case somebody tries to flush it again. It wouldn't have fucking mattered. Anyways, so I get the plunger, I'm plunging away, and I can just hear like through the sink, like, I'm like, oh no. But I'm like, okay, it's going down a little bit, so I'm just plunging.
This seems like
It's
an
never a
elaborate
good-
story just to tell us
Yeah.
that you shit in the sink.
Yeah.
That's you were making up this whole thing about the toilet overflowing when in reality you were just so drunk you decided to
That's
just
right.
drop trowel on the sink.
So, and then, half of it was already done. I'm like, oh, sweet. I looked to the side. I'm like, oh, no. There's brown water in the shower. ended up pushing it over to the shower.
All
and
right,
I'm
so
just
correction, no sink. You were just waffle stomping.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
So I was like, oh no. And then so I go outside and like my buddy saw the look on my face. He's like, oh, what happened? I'm like, you might want to come see this. And anyways, basically, he ended up figuring it out what happened. He had a snake and there was a toy shoved down the toilet. Finally,
And Tommy's
my
poo was too
and
big
toilet
to get
paper
past.
just made it, plug it up completely. So
So like 30% your fault.
yes, yeah, exactly, yeah.
Like it's kind of 70% the kid. He should know better, but
Yeah. But it was the kid was.
They probably
one,
just
or-
weren't
no, Actually,
expecting-
that was his older brother. He was 3, I think, at the time. So whatever.
yeah, they probably just weren't expecting this monster fecal mess that you unleashed upon them.
Yeah,
So.
and then spread it into the sink in the fucking shower. So
Normal poo would have had no
Good times.
problem.
Yeah.
But anyway, so yeah, back to the pets thing. Like, I don't know, what do you guys think? Like, am I wrong here that like I don't think the dog should be blamed for taking a shit in the house?
No, if it's
And also
if it's
it's
in a
a-
rotation,
Depends on circumstance.
And it's
Yeah,
also it's a
absolutely.
new environment for. I don't know which dog took the shit because there's 2 dogs. One has been there for a while, and the other one is a new addition. They've been together now for a month or so. So still living together. Yeah. So
Living
I'm
together,
thinking it's a new environment for that dog. Still, might be getting used to it or whatnot.
You know, I should just put them all down.
Right? Just get rid of them.
Oh my god.
That fixes the problem right there.
yep, Slovakians are getting
America.
hungry. So
yeah, exactly. I mean, I am getting a little skinnier. I
There
know
you
I
go.
still look fat, but
yeah, we can't have that happen.
I can fit large shirts now, and that's just wrong. So,
Keeping Lyra away from you people.
well, we did let us hold the chicken, and a year later died.
I
So,
know. What'd you guys
That's
do?
science right there. That's just science. That's what happens.
no, it's called barbecue.
Yeah, that's what happened when Tommy touches a cock. It just dies. So.
Yeah, I haven't been able to get mine up for a while, so I've been touching it so often.
Oh.
Anyway, so yeah, that was
Shitty loads.
yeah, loads. Anyway, so that was my story for today.
I'm gonna steal a bit more whiskey here.
Yes, you are.
I go for it, man. Bretzky, you're gonna try somewhere?
I will when I get through this horrid. Ugh.
That's a terrible color for
Can I try
a
it?
beverage.
Yeah, try it, so that you never make the same mistake as I did. It just
It's
has
fucking
like.
delicious.
You like it?
Yeah.
Well, okay, you have it, and I'll have a whiskey and something else.
No, I have enough drinks here. You drink that. I want to watch you.
You just
suffer.
want to watch me suffocate.
Yeah. But yeah, Nomad, shout out.
It's foamy.
Nomad brought me this beautiful whiskey. It traveled all of 2 years to make it to Manitoba. Is it Monashee Mountain whiskey? I want to say
I don't.
Yeah,
know.
Monashee.
Monashee Mountain whiskey. It is fantastic. This is batch number 2, bottle 144. I like how they dated.
That's like how
August
I still
20th.
have my batch 1 of that vodka that you brought home for me.
2020.
Yeah.
It's still hidden somewhere where I'm not going to tell anybody because I can't bring it out because they'll try to fucking drink it.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I-
this is from
It's probably
You
terrible.
can't remember where you put it, and this is just all an elaborate
No,
lie.
I come across it like once a year and I'm like,
I hid it really well. Really well. You guys will never find it. You know, but if you do, let me know.
This is from.
You'll never find
Is it? How do you pronounce that town? Sycamus.
Sycamus.
Sycamus, BC. After Dark Distillery. I asked the Nomad to stop by there and bring us some moonshine back, which we've tried.
It was awful.
I think that was still on the first
I might even
season.
still have some
There's
of that
probably-
because I refused to finish it. It was so bad.
So the
So
one
gross.
that was good, you drank in Florida, you bitch.
Yeah, it was New Year's Eve and there was no booze in the house before going out for the night and we wanted a drink. So we're like, whatever. I bought 4 of these. I'll still bring 3 back. Let's crack this cherry moonshine. And it was so fucking good. And there was like giant cherries in it and everything.
And the other flavors were also like, one was, I think,
peach was one.
Yeah,
And,
and that
I
tasted
don't remember.
nothing like
there was a
peach.
hazelnut one and
Yeah.
a coffee one.
Right.
And they were horrid. I
So
think
you would've-
I think I fed Darcy the hazelnut one. I think he eventually
He'll drink
drank
everything,
that. But I think one of them might still be back there.
But yeah, so like the names, like if you think about the flavors, we were expecting like strong flavor of those.
It all tasted like it was the same shit liquor with just like different.
almost like you take the
flavored
popcorn
juices.
seasoning and you just
Yeah.
add a little bit to it. That's what it tasted like. Yeah, like it was just gross. So But this one is fucking beautiful. So thank you for bringing that bottle all the way from BC, taking it to Florida, and bringing it back.
And yelling at an officer about it at the border.
Yeah, troublemaker.
Yeah, I mean, that was ridiculous of them.
Yeah, apparently you still have to claim it, even if you bought
No,
it.
you don't. They just wanted to. I don't know. They just
That's
wanted,
a battle you'll
they just
never
wanted
win.
to
Yeah,
lecture me.
exactly.
So I brought the bottle to Florida, and then I drove from Florida back to Winnipeg, and they were like, "Do you have any alcohol to claim?" And I said no. And then they searched my car and found this bottle, and I was like, "Well, that's from Canada." Like, I didn't think I had to claim something from Canada. And they're like, "Well, it's under the limit anyway, so it doesn't matter." And I was like, why are we having this conversation?
Yeah. At that point, you start to realize why they're CPP officers,
Yeah.
or
Then you're
like, why
CBSA's
are they
officers if they're Canadian,
Yeah.
and why they're not real police.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But so
Kind of like park rangers.
yeah, exactly. Oh, don't get me started on them.
Yeah,
Fuck.
I just have an overall feeling of fuck parkies. That's kind of the attitude I've taken. I've had limited experiences with them, but I've never had a positive experience.
No.
They're all guys who couldn't pass the physical. They
We
couldn't. They
said-
could not run the POPAT. So
Well, see, like I had this one.
Do you have any
skinny
idea
guy-
why I'm pulling you over? Because you didn't graduate?
Yeah, I had this one skinny guy like come tell us to shut down the music after it was like 11:30. We're like, okay, fair enough. Like the music was not blasting, but it was loud. Okay, so then I had my music playing on the phone. They came back, shut down the music. We said no music past the. Like, fine. My buddy pulls out the guitar, strumming, quietly. No music. If we hear music one more time, and I already, had a couple drinks over the limit. And then I'm like, well, you fucking skinny little bitch ass, come over. And my wife's like, shut up. I'm like, what? You're going to throw us out because we're sitting around the fire and strumming the fucking guitar? Like, fuck off.
yeah,
Just,
it's,
oh.
And they're like,
Anyways, I don't wanna
no,
get
but
into
your
it 'cause I'm getting
wiener's out,
upset.
sir. And there
I'm
are
roasting my
children.
wiener.
There are children making s'mores right beside you.
No, actually, yeah. And the thing is, we had a
Do you know
whole
why I
bay.
pulled you over? Because your references didn't check out. Yeah, pretty much.
No, because I have a box of donuts and you could smell them. Yeah.
Honestly, it's funny because parkies are actually I call them parkies, but yeah, parkies are the reason why Brett James is known as Brett James.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no.
Well, let's hear the story.
He told it to us last time he was here.
Well,
But
he may have told it a different. He likes.
I don't think he told it on the show.
No,
he,
let
told,
me-
he told
yeah.
it to us.
Let me tell you the
but-
Scotty Dangerously version,
There
or
you
as
go.
I'd love to
or
hear
as
it.
everybody calls it, the truth.
Yeah.
So, we were boozing it up pretty good one night
No.
at his folks' place. Yeah, out in the country there. And we're gonna take some road rockets with us. We're gonna head to the bar. So put a couple in our pocket and head on down the trail. And it's a little bit of a walk to get there. And so we're like 3/4 of the way there. And sure enough, these parkies on bikes, not even a vehicle, not even a vehicle.
Did
on
either of them have a
bikes.
fanny
even
pack?
funnier.
Please tell me one of them had a fanny pack at least.
They had shorts. I don't know if they had. Yeah.
Khaki
So on
shorts.
bikes, they come roaring up to us, and we're like, we realize, we see the booze, and we're like, gosh, okay, we're gonna have to see if we can talk our way out of this. So, go, hey guys, how's it going? Yeah, how's it going yourselves? Yeah, you're gonna need to pour out the drink. We're like, oh, where are you headed tonight? Oh, we're just headed to the bar. Or where do you live? We're from here. Oh yeah, okay. What's your address then? He gives them a completely fake address, and this should be a good tell of what kind of person the parky is. They're not from there, because if they were, they would have known that the address was 100% bogus.
Yeah,
But no, they didn't. So anyways, they're just like,
there's no Stone Johnson Avenue.
yeah. So we're gonna have to. We might be visiting you in the morning about this. Well, and we're like, okay, so we're just gonna need you to dump out your beers. And we
That's
got,
when you go. We just picked these up out of the ditch. We're
Yeah.
cleaning them up.
We took like 2 beers each. We already crushed the first one. We're sipping on the other one, just till we get to the bar, eh? So I'm like, mine's already. I saw the guy coming, so I crushed mine before he could even stop. Brett's like, okay, yeah, sure, I'll pour it right out. And he just starts chugging it in front of the guy's like, hey, you got to stop that. You got to stop that.
I'm dumping it out.
I'm dumping it out. Rah, rah, like just chugs it in front of him.
You
and
didn't
he's like,
say where
well,
to dump it out.
yeah, we'll see you in the morning. Like, oh, okay, see you later. And we just went to the bar just laughing our asses off because these dipshits didn't have a freaking clue where we lived. Yeah, it was so funny. But they asked our names, and I don't know what name I gave them. I think I gave them my buddy's name, John Kirby. So I just, I'm John Kirby, johnkerb69 at hotmail.com. You know, just I even know the guy's address because a bylaw officer asked me one time. But yeah, I just knew to. I know this guy's name and address off by heart, so I always, whenever I'm in trouble, I revert to him. And but Brett James said, "My name is Brett James." And okay, Mr. James. Well, we'll be seeing you in the morning. And, well, okay, like.
Pro tip, if you're a camper and a drinker, always remember a friend's information, just in case you ever get asked.
Pro tip, parkies are not the police. And if they call the police to enforce something, the police are going to laugh them off. And, oh yeah, we'll be there. Like, your house could get robbed, and the police won't show up till the next day.
Yeah.
Are you really going to tell me that parkies are going to be able to get the cops on the horn down there if it's not an immediate danger issue?
For guys drinking 2 beers while walking.
Exactly.
We got some guys drinking down here, guys. We're going to need backup.
A coworker told me he got a $700 ticket from the parkies for having open alcohol.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't know how true that is. He might just be,
Oh, they can give the tickets all they want. I have a
On long
coworker that
weekends
got.
and stuff, they have alcohol bans, so it's possible.
Yeah, but $700 for an open liquor ticket?
Yeah, but you don't have to give them ID. Like
No,
my
that's what I'm
coworker,
saying, just walk away from
my
it.
coworker was crushing beers.
Obviously, if you have your car there, that's a different story.
Yeah.
You're kind of screwed.
Yeah,
But,
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
If
just if
you
you're
don't
walking.
have anything, just walk away from them.
Yeah, and just like they're like, oh, do you have IDs? Like, no, I'm in my swim trunks.
Because just think about how that conversation's going to go with the police officer when they call them for backup.
Yeah.
We're going to need backup. There's somebody drinking. Oh, are they being belligerent and dangerous? No. They're walking away.
Yeah,
Yeah, we'll get right on that there.
First, he was playing an acoustic guitar,
Yeah,
which
that's
was
right. Yeah,
really out of line.
Yeah, that was just that's terrorist talk right there for parties.
yeah, right.
He played Wonderwall. Everybody plays Wonderwall. I'm sick of it.
It could have been anyone.
But yeah, let's talk about Friday because you had a show. I think it was a very successful show.
For those of you who are
Oh,
just
we're not doing
listening,
the Rebecca Black song.
Tommy's talking to
okay.
Nomad now.
Friday.
yeah,
Yeah, they can't see that.
sure they can,
If they're watching that, they can.
They
but if they're
should
listening,
be watching that.
and they should know.
we appreciate our Spotify listeners as well.
no,
No,
we
fuck 'em.
don't.
I'm
Okay.
all about SoundCloud.
Yeah. So the Nomad had an art show, and it was I had a blast because it was super cool to see. It wasn't just about paintings, but there was photography, art. There was jewelry, the makeup artists. The one photography / almost product photography. With the ones with the crotches and the asses.
Oh, that was amazing.
And the
There's
taco on
pancakes.
Tacos on there. Yeah,
There's
so
a
it was,
pancakes in the butthole.
oh my god! I was telling Nomad, I was like, "This is perfect for you and me. Like, you know, we'll get you all naked. We'll set you up. I'll cook up the pancakes. I'll take the picture and then I'll eat the pancakes out of your ass. Like, that'll be perfect."
I was talking to Peach. I went and walked through with Peach and Hempy, and we were looking at those, and I was like, I love these, and they were actually some very reasonable priced pieces. Like they were, I think $60 was the most expensive one.
Yeah.
And I was like, I could almost pay $60 for that, but I could also just put a taco on someone I know's bum and take a picture of that, and I'd have no problem doing that. So let's just do it that way.
Sidebar, Your Honor. I've never met Peach. I've chatted with her like a number of times on Instagram and everything. What a lovely person.
Oh, she is.
Yeah, like what I'm saying this as someone who has never met her in person.
Yeah, Peach
but
is
As long as
great.
she's not
just
angry.
an absolutely
just
lovely
don't
person.
get her angry.
a great follow on Instagram. She posts about her dog Hurley and whatnot.
Hurley and
Yeah.
Gatsby.
But like I was telling her, I was trying to get back in shape and trying to lose the COVID-20 and you know, all that. And she's like, yeah, me too. And, you know, so we're texting back and forth, but it's, you know, inspirational messages to each other. Like, you know, I killed it today with this workout. How was yours? Oh, it was great and everything.
Get
like
off
that.
your ass.
Yeah,
You
no,
piece
just
of
what
shit.
what a great supportive person.
Yeah, Peach is awesome.
Yeah.
I love
But please
her.
go on about the art show. I just felt the need. I felt compelled to say what a
No,
great
literally
person that Peach is.
nothing else happened at the art show. There's nothing else to talk
What
about.
was awesome was Hempy walked in, and then I hugged her and said hi, and then I see this other very familiar face walking towards me, but Peach said she wasn't coming because she was going to the lake.
And then she came.
So I was like, it's not Peach
I
because
see what you
she's
did
not
there.
coming, but it was Peach, and it was awesome
I
surprise.
had a feeling that Peach was coming because my pants started tingling a little bit just right before she walked in.
like
Got a
the
little
Spidey
jingle in your
sense.
Your,
dingle there.
your Spidey senses.
yeah. Ding.
Oh yeah, she looked hot.
Wait,
She's
wait,
like
wait.
had this pinstripe dress on and
Very
heels,
sexy,
and
yeah.
She's
my.
tall already, so she's like,
Oh, I loved. You know what?
legs
I
up
felt.
to here.
It felt so nice to like look up to a woman, you know. I'm usually
Yeah.
looking down at them.
Because, yeah,
Eventually.
Tommy always looks down on women.
Always.
Always.
I had a pretty funny moment.
My
'cause
my
I-
wife's 4'11", so
Oh, jeez. He really looks down on
yeah,
his wife.
yeah,
and,
absolutely.
I-
Especially my
I
wife.
actually wasn't even drinking at that, and at the end of the night,
It was very
Um,
strange.
It was very weird.
Peach went down to these like flats instead of the heels she was wearing at the beginning. And I don't know why. But when it happened, in my brain, what happened was she had shoes that she just went and like took the heels off.
No. That's awesome.
Dumbass.
Which we had a discussion after. They do exist.
They do exist.
Oh.
There's
Okay.
shoes like that do exist. But I don't know. I thought she said that she just took she said she took the heels off, and that's in my head what happened. And we were like on the way back to the car when we were leaving, because I had to go back to Hempy's car because she had some jerseys for me.
And this is you sober.
Yeah.
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 I even asked him if he wanted a drink, and he said no. And then I was confused.
Then she just made a face for about 7 minutes of just confusion. Just
What? Yeah, everyone else had moved on in the conversation, and then
But yeah, she
What?
pulled this bag out of
do you
her
mean?
out of her purse with shoes in it, and then I was just like, "Holy shit!
my big
I
toe
understand what happened now, you
is still
fucking
numb
magician,
from wearing heels all
sorceress."
night.
Oh yeah.
It's crazy, and those were comfy heels, but yeah, I can't feel my right toe.
But your legs and ass look
That's why
good.
Bretzky doesn't wear heels anymore.
It was worth it for the ass.
Yeah, I should maybe start wearing heels so my legs and ass look good too.
Yeah.
I actually see now 4 or 5 guys
You know what makes my ass look good?
wearing
Genetics.
heels. Genetics. Yeah. I mean, I do have a nice
I
ass
got
too.
it
So,
from my mama.
but imagine, but with high heels, it just pops. It's like enhanced.
Yeah, I was wearing
Especially
my
with the short skirt.
Yeah.
I was wearing
Yeah.
my
You want to try it?
just my boots before, and Tommy was like, "Well, why don't you just wear those if they're comfier?" I was like, "Cause," and I put them on. I was like, "See?" And
Because
he's
the
like,
boots were
"Yeah."
made
I
for
can't,
walking.
and I couldn't stop staring.
It's like, okay.
And, well, that's just what they'll do.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for following up.
Well,
on
that's
that.
somebody
yeah.
had to.
I try to ignore his puns here, but
I'll jump on that guy.
Yeah,
Hey, don't
see
worry.
what happens when you follow through.
yeah, you two laugh. But yeah, no. So it was. There was also some live performances. There was a DJ there, which the music he was playing is not my cup of tea, but it was so fucking fitting for a fashion show, art show. Like it's very much like it's, you know, like that same beat, right?
Porno.
And almost, yeah, almost
Porno
like porn
music.
music, yeah.
And then they just had like the repeating videos in the background, like either the
The cat.
the guy dancing. The cat was my favorite.
It was just it kept
just
walking.
It was just a video of a cat just like walking, just side profile cat walking
Yeah.
on the video screen behind the DJ for like
Yeah.
half an hour,
That
and I
was
was
just-
just like,
It's mesmerizing.
love this guy.
Did you guys see the fashion show? Because
No.
I'd never seen
No,
it.
there wasn't. I don't think there was a
There
shit
was
fest.
No.
supposed to be.
No,
Oh.
there wasn't. Yeah, no.
Oh,
No,
weird.
there was not.
And there was no painted ladies either. body painted ladies.
That's a
I was
bummer.
disappointed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
at the last
were promised
at
body
the last
paint.
show I was at, there was definitely chicks walking around.
Very disappointed raw artists. So
Painted
get your
tatas.
shit together for next year.
It's
There-
always great when you have a DJ there playing relevant music to the situation. Like I
Well-
went to Bay Days one year and they had a DJ going. I'm like, this is the Bay. Why do you guys have a DJ for Bay Days? They're like, oh, it's to get people in the mood.
kissed a girl and I liked it.
Hey, that song works for every
Yeah,
situation.
in
does,
the mood
yeah.
for what though? Like for paying
Yeah.
overpriced amounts of money for shitty
Right.
clothing? Like, okay, I
Yeah.
guess I'll have a DJ on
There's
here.
gotta
No,
be a
there's
song
there's
that
places where
promotes
a
that.
DJ is very fitting, and like you said,
Bay
like,
Days is not one
I mean,
of
you
them.
could have put on 106 and it would be just the same effect, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, put on
It wouldn't
106.
cost you anything.
Yeah.
Fucking Barkley.
Oh, speaking
yeah,
of, I was at the wrestling show on Thursday night there.
Oh,
Oh, perfect.
You boys missed a doozy.
I saw the
wanted that-
pictures.
I
So
wanted to
we'll,
go to
we'll
that
get to that
so
because I
bad.
wanted to bring that up as well. But just wanted to mention, so there was also a band at the art show, which was the band that maybe should have played a little bit of different music because they tried to play rock, but it was kind of I don't know, like the guy's voice wasn't very
it was a light voice trying to play rock
and
music.
it wasn't very fitting. But then there was a girl, Jillian, I forget her
Hayek.
name. Hayek, yeah, thanks. She played the piano and the ukulele and singing
and
along.
violin.
And
Oh
violin.
no! That was a different girl that played the
And
violin.
there was
I'm
another
sorry.
like a duet that was bass, I think, and a violin, and that was
She was good. I really
very
liked
calming music, but again very soothing. So it was super cool experience. This was my first art show I've ever been to.
Yeah, and it's not your typical art show either. Usually
Oh, okay.
it's like, like a little wine and cheese and
Less hip,
people walk
Yeah.
around.
more
and-
snooty.
Yeah.
yeah.
Highfalutin types
pompous.
of people.
Oh, and there was DT, the rapper from Toronto.
DT
he
the
was
rapper.
we
No,
were
DT
actually
the artist.
DT the artist. Yeah, we were supposed to have him on the show, but it didn't work out the next day. But we'll zoom him in at one
Tommy
point
was
for
too
sure.
hungover.
Yeah, totally. After all that driving. But yeah, no, I think it went well, and I think you had fun.
It was a
And
lot of fun.
it was great. Yeah, so let's talk about the wrestling.
Yeah. So
The wrestling we promised to go to and then didn't.
Is this
'cause
the one from
we're
the
assholes.
guy on the radio?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Stephen
wanted to go
Epic.
to that too.
Stephen Epic, yeah. Stephen Richard came on the Whiskey Tango podcast.
Yeah, so yeah, that
and
was
what a great guy.
he's awesome.
Really interesting
He's
guy.
fantastic.
Yeah, was a host on Now Country 104.7 on the morning show. I just driving out here. I just heard they have a new. I think Naomi's taken over for the.
Yeah,
for the morning
he's got
show.
another.
But he's got a lot going on. He's got
he's
got a
got
show
another
with
thing
APTN
going on, and
coming
they,
up.
they
Yeah.
gave they gave him
Yeah.
some space to
and
do some
just
other
a really
stuff.
awesome, interesting guy to talk to, and big wrestling fan too, of course, because he's
Yeah.
a professional wrestler. And he'd been retired for like 11 years, and decided to just come out of retirement. And I think it was supposed to be a one-off, and I think he's thinking, no, I can have some more fun with this or whatever. It's his call, whatever.
Yeah.
But there was a big wrestling show called 3D Pro Wrestling. It's their inaugural event. Because previously we only just had CWE here in Winnipeg.
Yeah.
And but now we got this 3D Pro Wrestling, and for a first show, it was amazing. It was such a fun time. Like it was in the upstairs of the South Osborne Legion. I don't know if you guys ever been there before.
No,
I didn't even. I was there like 2 weeks before that. I didn't even realize there was an upstairs to the Legion. But yeah, there is, and great venue and everything. Only problem is if you're standing on the second rope and you're 6 feet tall, your head is hitting the ceiling.
oh shit.
There's a definite
yeah.
clearance problem going on here. And no, but it was tickets $20. I mean, you couldn't ask for a better 2.5 hours of entertainment. It was so
we
much fun.
really
Loads.
wanted to go to that, and
Yeah.
then
I had an absolute blast.
Tommy had the runs, so
Hey,
Yeah.
When she squirts, she squirts. So
Yeah.
yeah, but no, had a really good time. And
that was your nipple, Tommy.
Have you guys ever?
That was
been,
the other problem.
You guys ever been to a local wrestling show?
I've
No.
been to a CWE show before.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
No, yeah, I've
You-
never. No,
Okay, so
I'm not a big fan.
They're fun. They're just
yeah,
like
you gotta
and
know.
I think I would enjoy it a lot more if I know somebody like Stefan, right?
It's
I
still
would
better than
get into
sitting at home and watching fucking.
I would get more into it for sure than watching like WWE in the arena from the fucking nosebleeds, and it's just like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, okay, that looks
so
fake.
The one thing you got to remember when you go to these things is this is indie wrestling.
Yeah.
This isn't the WWE. This isn't a high budget production kind of thing. No, this is indie wrestling. This is, maybe a smoke machine, some lights, and that's about it for production.
Yeah.
And the guys come out there and they got to get the crowd riled up. They
That's
got
right.
to get the crowd entertained. And so first guy coming out there, Sammy Peppers, has the crowd going. Everyone's loving. He's got a catchy song. He's dancing around. He's gyrating. You can tell he's having a good time.
Yeah.
And when a wrestler's having a good time, the crowd's gonna have a
Exactly,
good time.
for sure.
And then the next guy comes out, and it's this 5'0" guy named Vinko, and he is wearing blue and yellow tights, and he's got I don't know what you call those.
Wolverine.
I don't know what you call those. They're like jackets, but like for soccer players, where they're very popular in Europe. where
like the Umbro jacket.
Yeah.
the-
So he's
like
wearing one of that.
the tracksuit.
Windbreaker.
Like a tracksuit, but like a high collar.
Yeah.
tracksuit. And on the back of it, it says Ukrainian sex machine. And the guy's name is Vinko.
Yeah.
And he comes out there and he's got these
Sorry, no,
women's
it's
glasses on.
Vinko.
Yeah. He's got these women's glasses on.
Winko.
And he calls himself the bareback bohunk. And I'm like, this guy is the greatest ever. Like,
Nice.
He comes out there and he's like, listen, announcer, you just shut your mouth and let a professional do this. And he starts working the crowd up, and the crowd's just loving this guy. And he's like, from cell block B, here comes the Stony Mountain Strangler. Guy comes out. He's got the coveralls and everything tied up at the waist. He's got a white shirt and he's got a luchador mask on and everything. I'm like, and he's just jacked as hell. And we're like, this is so cool and everything. Sure enough, halfway through the match, his crotch splits. And so now everyone can just see him
Balls are
rocking
just
around.
hanging out, eh?
Yeah, just black gitch and everything. And
At
he's
least he had gitch
he's
on.
trying to hold it
A lot of
together,
times
and
they
he
don't
just
wear
gives
gitch
up.
because of the tights.
Yeah.
So
He gives up a minute into trying to cover himself up, and show's got to go on. And you know what? But that was the starting match, and it just set the tone for the rest of the night. Because, like I said, 2.5 hours, greatest entertainment for $20 you're gonna get. Cheap beers because you're at the Legion. I mean, why not? Like it was such a good time.
Oh, for sure. So just FYI, I did fuck up, and you guys are on the screen right now, as of right now. Up until now, it's just me and Bretzky.
Womp womp.
God damn
Oh,
it.
good times. Well, this is what happens
Every time.
if I don't have to do your job. When I get here, then I can get my job done. So.
But look how good they look.
there you go.
Look
Yeah,
at
yeah,
this.
yeah.
Look at
So we gotta show the whiskey again because I showed the whiskey there. So this was the whiskey. Let's catch up real quick. And Bretzky, you want to show your shitty beer? Or no point? I was like, wait a second, something's not good, something's not right, and yeah.
So is Farmery a sponsor on here?
No,
No.
not at all.
Okay, good, because they have terrible beer.
Yeah, I haven't really liked many of them.
They have god
The
awful.
beer
We've had several other
don't
local
mind
guys
their-
on here, and I've really enjoyed them. I have had a lot of Farmery's catalog.
Yeah,
I don't mind
I
their
have
regular
two.
ones.
There's not a lot I would go back to.
I have too. I've had basically everything they've had in the hopes of finding something that's a good beer, and I'm yet to find that with them.
I think
they
their
just make
farm
trash.
is really cool.
Yeah,
like
sure.
driving past.
I
it,
mean,
going
they're
out.
not actually local. They were up until I think last year they were getting all their stuff from Saskatchewan anyways. So
But
they were,
they've had a hop farm up in
yeah, they had to
near-
develop it first and everything.
Oh,
So
okay.
they were getting they're not their beers just trash. And that Blue Kiss stuff they came out with.
Oh,
like,
that was garbage.
That has like radioactive coloring in it. It looks like I should not be drinking.
Okay,
it looks like
actually-
something that was made on 3 Mile Island.
Yeah.
Do
Not-
they make like fruity beers?
yeah.
Yeah, they make a little bit of everything, and it's all a little bit terrible.
So
I lost all respect when they did the pickle beer, and that was the literal worst thing I've
Really,
ever
because
put
the
in my
carrot
mouth.
cake beer was the doer.
Oh,
for
I
me.
did that one too. Okay, so that
Carrot
one,
cake, toasted marshmallow. Like, what the hell are you
the
guys doing?
carrot cake one, I was like, oh, cool, that tastes like carrot cake. When would I drink that?
Never.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if I want a carrot cake, I'm gonna get a carrot cake.
like
And
it would
just
be
eat it.
cool. It would be
Yeah.
cool to serve it in like a little tiny cup along with some carrot cake.
Sure.
Only application.
Yeah.
Like that's literally it.
But you want to talk about good local beer? Have you guys had Andrew Sucrum on yet?
Sucrum's?
Yeah, the owner's Andrew.
Yeah. We had Sucrum's
Beer, but not the
no,
owner.
we haven't had Andrew on. I've met Andrew.
Yeah,
I've met Andrew.
wonderful guy.
He's a cool dude.
Yeah.
But no, we haven't had him on the show. But we have tasted his beers and talked about.
He
them
makes phenomenal
on the show.
beers. If you haven't had one of the latest ones they came out with, it's called Pure Imagination.
No, we
Yeah,
wanted that one.
It's a pastry porter, and I've had pastry porters by other local guys who have just absolutely shit the bed. I'm not going to name names, half pints, but it's yeah. They shit. Were they on here?
No.
Okay,
Yeah,
perfect. All right,
I had Jeremy who
I can
used
dump
to,
on them too.
Jeremy used to work for Half Pints, which
Okay.
was good until he left, and then they went to shit.
Yeah, they came out these like pastry porters, like these Boston cream donut beers, and they were
gross.
just so atrociously bad. And so,
mean, why?
Yeah, I've had other ones, and pastry porters have never worked out. This is the first one. Pure Imagination. It is absolutely delicious.
No,
Yeah,
we had Cosmos last week.
That's what we had,
which
yeah.
was a sour.
Look at this guy.
Was that the? I think it was like a peach lemon.
I
kinda
forget what it
sour
was,
or
yeah,
something.
but it was
good.
delicious, yeah.
It was really good.
Yeah, they. But yeah, Sucrum's just makes wonderful beers. I am such a fan of theirs. So
So let's talk about your podcast.
yeah, sure.
So what it's all about? What is it? Is it how different is it from Whiskey Tango?
Very.
Very.
So the Whiskey Tango podcast, which was
Well, first of all, you don't have Denzel, so that's a win.
no, we still do.
Oh, he still talks. Oh.
He produces on the podcast, and it started out with Dave and Denzel on the Whiskey Tango, and then Brett joined up,
Yeah.
and they brought me in as a guest. I think like episode 70 or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
But I didn't actually join them until about a month or two ago. But anyways, yeah, we were. They're an interview type. They're like an interview / shooting the shit kind of a podcast. Kind of, yeah, very similar to this one.
Fucking copycats.
Rip off.
Even
though they started first.
but very very different guys. Like if you know any of
Are
their
you
stories,
jerking
they're-
him off?
they're
Sorry
all
to cut you
very-
off there. Are you jerking him off? Because
Yeah.
you kept going.
Nomad,
Trying,
yeah.
but the dog's in the way.
Scotty's got him up here petting him, and then Nomad's like bending down. under
No,
his shoulder
this
doing-
phone fell, and I was trying to.
Oh,
find
yeah.
it.
Oh,
my wallet.
sure.
it's an iPhone SE that
the
doesn't work.
phone fell.
Yeah.
No,
Anyway, sorry.
A phone that doesn't
this-
work.
Wreck that.
That I just use as a wallet because I'm too
That's-
cheap to
that's
buy
what
a
I'm
new one.
wondering.
That's why you
I don't-
forgot your phone.
Yeah.
You already had a.
Yes,
broken
actually,
one
that's
with you.
probably the reason. But no, it's so they're all different personalities on that show, and it makes for really good content. But then Brett and I had been talking for like years and years about doing our own thing, and honestly, man, it was COVID that turned it around. It was like after COVID and everything, it was just all right. Well, what do we like? Why aren't we pulling the trigger on this podcast? And so we started talking about it a little bit more, and then he finally just said, "Okay, we're doing it. We're gonna record an episode." And okay, cool. Let's record an episode. What are we gonna talk about? I don't know. We're gonna do an episode. So we did an episode.
That's exactly how we started.
We didn't
Like,
even release it. It was that bad.
Well, is that why you guys
We're-
started at number 2? Because I was wondering, because I know there was the episode where you were on Whiskey Tango, and
Yeah.
they kind of called
Barkley,
that
fuck off.
number 1.
Yeah, we
And
announced it.
And then your podcast, it just starts at episode 2.
Yeah. So it's a running joke. Like a couple of people have asked, "Hey, where's episode 2?" You just look for it. You'll find it.
Yeah.
Kind of that. And no, we'll probably use it eventually as like a lost episode, and just to go back and listen to how terrible it really is.
I think
But,
every podcast has to do that at some point.
But that's the beauty of just not acknowledging it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we never had a bad episode. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
And we did
He
that.
just listens to me. Fucking dog. He's so loud in the microphone.
He's getting attention right now.
Yeah, I
He's not
know.
going
Exactly.
It's actually not the
thought
dog.
you were-
I'm just so out of shape. I got heavy breathing.
It's actually Scotty's like at our podcast.
See, it's funny because like when it's just the two of us, and then Barkley comes in, and I just like do this, like he just like slowly backs up, like he already knows.
Yeah.
But yeah, both dogs are getting too much attention. I thought you were gonna lock the dogs out.
We'll have to maybe take a breather in a minute. And,
We'll have to take a message from these sponsors.
hey, we can do that.
Why
don't we?
Pizza
So we,
Oven is dedicated to bringing you the highest quality pies.
Okay.
That the whole
Shut up.
family
I
can
have a bit of like this.
That's the Whiskey Tango podcast. So when the Dangerously Incomparable came around, we wanted to focus it just on making it a comedy podcast, like doing bits. And so we do like a fake ad read every episode where we just come up like with like, for instance, like the Lindbergh baby monitor.
Yeah.
That's a horrible idea and an absolute tragedy that happened 100 years ago.
The Lindbergh baby
But
was
let's make fun of
kidnapped
it.
for
So-
all
Yeah.
you non-history people.
Yeah. So Charles Lindbergh, the first man to fly around the world, had his baby kidnapped and murdered. So we thought, what
Big
better?
ransom story. It was
Big ransom.
super exciting.
Yeah, they pretty much caught and convicted the wrong guy, but that part doesn't matter. No. We did the Lindbergh baby monitor, and so kind of like what SNL does with their fake commercials.
is
So
awesome.
we wanted to do something like that. So we've introduced that. We've had a number of different ones. Epstein bed sheets was another one. Yeah, the best one in my opinion is coming out this week, so definitely take a look for it. Brett James, it's all his. I'll give him full credit for it. It was hilarious. It's a new social media app coming out. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, it's definitely a gooder. But,
So you guys have released the episode on Wednesdays.
Yeah, Wednesdays
So can you-
for Dangerously Incomparable. Thursdays for Whiskey Tango
So can you
Podcast.
talk about it? Can you tell us actually what the commercial's about? Like with a little more detail?
'Cause this won't come out till
This
Friday.
will come out on Friday.
I guess I could, yeah.
Yes.
It's called Outrage.com.
Okay.
And that's all I can tell you about it because, like a fucking doofus, I did not remember my phone. So I could, if I had it here, I could pull you up the Google Doc to show you the whole script for it and everything.
Yeah.
It is so, like, he is such a wonderful writer and he's so good at, and not tooting my own horn, but I'm not half bad at it myself. So
Yeah,
we come
I
up.
loved when you guys used to phone in.
Yeah,
I was gonna
we
bring
have
that
so
up,
much.
yeah.
We have such a capacity to come up with such great content, and yeah, so we do fake ad reads, and then another big thing is we were both heavily influenced by Norm Macdonald.
Yes.
And so we love Weekend Update, and especially Norm doing Weekend Update. It was unparalleled. Nobody will ever do it as good as him.
For me, and I loved Weekend Update as well, but Dirty Work to me
Yeah.
was one of the most important pieces in film of my entire upbringing.
Well, if you watched a previous episode of Whiskey Tango Podcast, we did a competition of greatest movies of all time, and we had 4 subcategories. And for comedy, I picked Dirty Work,
Nice.
and I came in dead last.
Oh, fuck whoever voted
Yeah.
that, because they don't know real comedy. That,
Right? Yeah.
That is one of the
Dave
greatest
picked
pieces of...
Nobody. A movie
What?
he was actually in, and he picked that as the greatest action movie of all time. You know what I picked? The actual greatest action movie, Die Hard.
I knew you were going to say Die
Yeah, of
Hard,
course, 'cause
actually.
I don't
It is
know.
the
That
greatest.
came into my head too.
Yeah, it is the greatest
such a
action
It's,
movie of all
it's
time.
definitely...
And I came in dead last.
T2
So I had to
might-
drink a gross drink as punishment for
It's
coming in
also
What was
the
the- oh.
only movie I've heard of that you've mentioned so far.
What was your gross drink?
last. Beer, milk, and whiskey all together.
that's
Oh,
nothing.
that's
That's
fucking
nothing.
pussy juice.
It was McEwen's Scotch
I'd
Ale.
fucking
so,
I would down that in a heartbeat.
Yeah, one of
compared
our-
to what me and Bretzky had to drink.
Well, yeah, but you were both just perverts, so.
What was it? It was blended
So,
sushi,
blended sushi with beer, regular beer, non-alcoholic beer,
Ginger.
ginger. What?
Wasn't there ketchup in
Ketchup.
there was
ranch.
ketchup ranch, and
Something
it
else,
was
yeah.
just a thick ass like.
Like
Yeah.
it hit my lips and I was,
there? Yeah, they were
Yeah,
throwing
milk
up
and
immediately.
beer and with a shot of whiskey is not much better, especially when it's McEwen's Scotch Ale. That is such a repulsive beer. I don't care how much you like beers. That's a
I
repulsive
don't.
beer.
So
I think
I can
mixed
agree
with
with
milk,
you on that.
with milk in there, and the only thing I could find was chocolate milk, which did not make it any
can
better.
actually get. I
Did
think
it curdle
and-
like
and-
crazy too?
Because
Curdle.
we
What a
spare
gross
no
word.
expense at the Whiskey Tango Podcast. I used Windsor Canadian whiskey.
okay.
And my only thing I said for the whole thing was, I have no problem coming in last. I have no problem doing this drink, but let's make it fun. So as I'm making the beverage, you guys pretend to be golf announcers and just commentate as I'm mixing the drink.
Nice. Yeah.
It was
beautiful.
so good.
Yeah.
It was so funny. I even cracked up. I broke character. I started laughing at it. It was so good.
Yeah.
It was so much fun to do. But yeah, so we do. We have a weekend update bit that we do on the podcast on Dangerously Incomparable. We can't call it Weekend Update, so we were going to call it Not Necessarily the News.
That's a great name.
I love that.
That's a great name.
Yeah, it was a great name. Couldn't use it either because that was the name of an 80s sitcom that Conan O'Brien was a part of.
Ah, for
So
fuck's
we
sake.
called it Not Exactly the News. And
Okay.
yeah, it still works great. And so we just write up just Weekend Update style jokes. We have so much fun with it. And then where producer Denzel comes in is he wanted to start introducing new segments to the show. And I'll fully admit, I was like, I don't know. Like, you know, him and I don't really see eye to eye on comedies. He has a different comedy style than I do. And I mean, his brother's a stand-up comedian at Rumors. And so like, I'm not saying he doesn't know what he's talking about, but him and his style and my style are completely different. So I was a little apprehensive about it, and it's a good thing. I just took the old improv attitude of yes and
Yes.
and
Yes.
And
and it turned out to be the best choice because he brought in impression roulette.
Oh,
nice.
And it was so fun to do. He picked like these great impressions that I'd never done before, that Brett had never done before, and it was so much
Just
fun to do.
forces you to almost like get better.
Really
at,
hone in on it.
Yeah,
You really got to like focus on like any kind of audio clip or anything you can think of that person.
It
that
could
you
be
gotta
a
do.
scene from a movie or whatever,
Wait,
right?
yeah.
But yeah.
Do you have any names in mind? Could we do a round of that tonight?
I could probably come up with a couple.
Okay, well let's do a quick one
I
right
think
now.
that I think that
Like,
would be pretty
let's do
funny.
one each.
Like good example though was I had to do Nick Nolte. I've never done Nick Nolte.
No, all I know is the mugshot. That's all I have to
Yeah.
go off.
all I could think of with Nick, like I know he's been in a whole bunch of. I think he was even in a Barbara Streisand movie that was really The Way We Were. I think.
Two Men and a Baby, or one of those.
Yeah, but the only movie I could think of him in was Warrior, where he plays the drunk alcoholic father. And I'm like, okay, I guess I'll go with that. Apparently, that's what he sounds like all the time. So yeah, I lucked out on that one. But yeah, so we do that. We have introduced a new one called TikTok Cringe, where we watch TikTok videos. And if you ever want to see Brett James laugh, watch the inaugural edition where he watches Marge Simpson coming out of the dryer, and he is falling over. He is melting in his chair laughing. He is unconsolably laughing.
That's awesome.
It's just
You know
cherry.
what? If you guys are on YouTube, right?
Yeah, we're on YouTube.
I'm gonna
we do reels on Instagram.
Okay, I'm gonna see if I can try to plug it in here right now
Sure,
in our
sure.
video
Yeah.
that part. So let's see if we can do that.
And Scott to react to them and commentate on them.
Oh, okay, and they're going to be shown on the picture-in-picture.
They will be in the picture.
Oh, this is a great start. All right.
Ooh.
They will be picture in picture.
What's the at? on?
Oh.
Okay.
This is gonna be Mark Simpson.
Yeah, yeah, I'm gonna play this again, just so I'm gonna play this again so our listeners can see better.
Take a look at these guns.
So I just zoomed in the picture a little bit here.
Whoa! You
All
got a
right,
Steph
finally.
Epic T-shirt?
Yeah.
Nice.
Let's do it.
I want
Yeah,
one.
here we
They
go.
will be in the picture
Oh,
in
this is a
picture.
great start. All right.
They will be picture in picture.
What's the at on? Okay.
This is gonna be Mark Simpson.
When I saw the start of that, I totally thought that like green outfit was supposed to be for like green screen type purposes. Like I thought it was. I didn't know what they were trying to do. That's awesome.
I wish that YouTube.
He's falling off.
The TikTok box wasn't in the way.
Should we see that in instant replay?
Like you're holding it together pretty good. But Brett James is just falling off the chair. Yeah. Come on, Denzel, move that fucking screen.
Yeah, that's right in the way. I want to see what's going on behind that button.
I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah,
Oh my
we
God.
need to. Okay. On to the next one.
Oh, he's crying.
I now know the screen capture I'm going to do for this podcast.
Yeah.
So
And
it's going to be him just falling
the
out
tears
like
in the
that.
cheeks
Yeah.
of that mask for the rest of that episode. Eh?
Oh, boy. No, we're not. Oh, God damn it.
Watching it again. That is pretty fucking good, though.
Yeah.
I love watching someone just break down like that. That's great.
Fuck, that's great. Yeah, that was.
It's such a fun thing to do, and it was such a great. Like I said, I was very kind of iffy. Should we be bringing this in?
It's but it's
And-
good because it's unexpected, right? And
Exactly.
you might look at it as it's stupid, but then you might get a reaction like this. Where,
We'll get gems like we typically do like 5-6 videos each episode, and
Does
the
Denzel
rest of
think
them
that?
don't even compare to that first one.
Yeah.
Like some of them are just utter cringe. Like, oh, why would you watch this? Like, what is wrong? Like one guy is like trying to put it together an outfit, and it's bafflingly stupid. And we're like, why would you post this? And Denzel's
Yeah.
telling us like, yeah, everyone just comments on like what a terrible choice he makes, and like people just rip on him in the comments that he doesn't know what he's doing and stuff like that.
people rip on him, but like you have some water in there. Is that?
But like, yeah,
It's lemonade.
he's posting these thinking like, oh yeah, you know, I know what I'm about. I know about great fashion, and it's like, no, people are watching you because you're a train wreck. So
I feel like a lot of TikTok must be that. I don't go on TikTok.
All of TikTok is a train wreck.
I
That's
don't go on TikTok.
except
but
Surreal.
whenever
Surreal is awesome, and Lil
So
Ron
the thing
rocks.
is,
I choose not to support Xi Jinping, so I stay off TikTok.
again, like TikTok is, it's very different.
I think it's like the rest
in
of
ways-
the internet. You need to know how to navigate it, or else you're
Exactly,
going to run
like,
into a whole
there's-
bunch of garbage.
There's lots of useful information on there, like lots of businesses. Like if you're looking for motivational speakers, if you're looking for like life coaches, there's a lot of them on there.
OnlyFans had all that too, but you know how that went for
yeah,
OnlyFans.
well, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, and that's just it. MySpace was big, right? And then it just died off. There's always something new that's going to come out. Right now,
Yeah.
TikTok is actually it's one of the top, I think, 3 social media platforms for businesses to actually gain followers, so
Yeah.
you can get your business out there.
Well,
but
what's
you have
funny
to do it right
is,
way.
like, you go on YouTube here, and we got like next to no views on this one, and we get some, we get some for Instagram and everything. We get a not great, but pretty good for viewership. TikTok, our stuff goes flying around on there. Like our viewership on TikTok is unmatched to anything else. Like we get so many views on there, and it's crazy. I don't know if it's like a different algorithm. I don't know. I'm not a techie.
I think it's just the hip platform right now.
Well,
so
sure.
if you can get yourself,
And if you want to watch Brett James just crumble in his seat laughing at some ridiculous video, you
TikTok
can watch
is-
it on TikTok.
TikTok is all about the short attention span, so you can't put a full episode on there because you're not gonna get views.
No, we
You
cut
need,
them down.
yeah, you need to get that one moment where like
You want a bait
your
video.
like your Zap video got 1,200
Yeah.
views.
Yeah.
Like I was like blown away.
Yeah.
And then the other views.
Where is that collar, by the way?
I don't know, but I saw one at the thrift
Joe
shop
has it.
the other day, and I almost bought one.
But most of our videos get about 2 to 350 views. And then I just stopped posting just because I don't have. You really need the time to break it down, post it at the right time. You have to do the right hashtags, and you have to have the right followers as well.
Yeah. Yeah,
So-
like our we do like drink videos on Whiskey Tango and everything.
Yeah.
And we're killing on that.
Oh,
like,
drinks,
Who's
yeah.
tuning into like Unga Bunga Dave making these drinks and everything? Like who would watch this stuff? Apparently a lot of people. Again, I am completely wrong here where I'm
Yeah.
thinking like nobody in their right mind would watch this gorilla man make a drink. But no, everyone loves watching him
Exactly,
do this
yeah.
stuff. So,
Yeah, so
I hope he
it's-
comes back safe from Africa, by the way. He's in Africa he's been there for the last week and a half. And he's coming back on
Shit.
Saturday. But we hope he's okay. Dave, we're pulling for you. We hope you don't get malaria or
So he's-
Scott's pulling for you, at least.
or Ebola.
Is he like shooting a movie or something?
Yeah,
or?
he's an aspiring actor. He's like I said, he was in Nobody. He's he's there he's learning a whole bunch of stuff there. It's not just an acting gig, but he's learning about editing and producing and stuff like that. So it's really
That's cool.
Yeah, it's a really great opportunity for
Nice.
him, and we're all happy for him. And hopes he comes to his senses and gets a real job one day.
Right. I know.
I just kidding. I love the guy. He's good. He's good
That's
shit.
but that's the truth though. Being an actor, it's like, okay, you have this job, and then now you have to go look for another one. And
Yeah,
you have to go look for another one.
I think he's a personal trainer by trade. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, he's got. I know
a side
he
gig.
had to do. He had a lot to do with Mick Dole's back in the day. So yeah, he's he, like I said, great guy and great personal trainer. He's got a lot of success stories behind him, and he's proven that part. He's a great personal trainer. And hey, why not? If you got the acting bug, go for it.
But how is he as a podcast host?
Not so good.
He's got to work on his microphone levels.
Yeah.
There's a lot of heavy breathing in there.
But you guys are like your quality is good, but I think
it's
well, that's Bretzky too. He's like,
I'm a heavy breather.
yeah, heavy breather. But you guys need to get away from USB mics. That's the key. That is the key. You need to get a board, and you need to get proper mics, proper
Well,
gears.
when a few more sponsors jump in here,
Yeah,
I mean, we
yeah.
got Rumors Comedy Club already for the Whiskey Tango Podcast. That's really neat. And then we get all these beverages our way and everything to do. So we got a little deal going on for that, which I can't really speak on, not because I don't want to, but because I really actually don't know. I'm not privy to that part of the business.
Brett James does he's your promoter. Earlier you're getting
He's
the
our
sponsor.
contact point.
Yeah.
He's the guy who knows everybody. Brett
Yeah.
James, big deal. So he does that.
Like
and
big, like fat, or
no, in a figurative and literal way. So big deal. He's a
he
future
is, yeah,
politician
for sure. Yeah.
Where
Well-
he'll wear the luchador mask and it's politician.
I know.
Yeah, when he's a politician.
The Pizza Oven is dedicated to the highest quality pie that the whole family can enjoy. With their amazing sauce and the freshest ingredients, the Pizza Oven is here to provide quality and a great tasting pizza to Winnipeg and East St. Paul. They use a delicious blend of mozzarella cheese and make their pizza crust daily, both thick and thin, and their meats are proudly provided by Winnipeg Old Country. They're located at 1215 Henderson Highway, Unit D in Winnipeg. Call them today at 204-949-3000 because everyone's loving the Pizza Oven. And tell them the VIPOD sent you by using promo code VIPOD5 for 5% off of your order, and order online for an additional 5% off for a grand total of 10% off of your order.
We would like to take a moment to say a great big thank you to our lead sponsor, SafetyNet Studio, for bringing us to all major platforms under their banner. SafetyNet Studio is a boutique audio company. They produce podcasts, offer voice work, and create content for radio stations across North America. You can head to safetynetstudio.com and check out music news you can use that's covering the chart toppers and floppers. It's a daily 6 to 7 minute pod that keep you up to date with all your active rock and top 40 favorites. You can also hear music news you can use on your local radio station.
Badlands Promotions Inc. is a music production company based out of Portage La Prairie, Manitoba, Canada. They promote local shows, all ages, and 18+. They also offer a wide variety of services including concert promotions, tour bookings, merchandising, flyers, photo and video services, studio recording, EPK, and website building. Call Badlands Promotions Inc. at 204-595-0500. You can also email them at badlandspromotionsplap@gmail.com. VIPOD is very excited to promote every Badlands Promotions Inc. show, so come out and support your local scene.
Wanted to ask you about, like, because again, like, the first time I've heard you was on Wheeler After Dark
Yep.
podcast, and Yeah, your skits were fucking hilarious with Brett James, you know.
Well,
and
thank
then,
you.
And then me and Bretzky, we started hanging out, you know, doing our podcast, and then like we came up with couple skits, you know.
And you guys were doing well. I don't want to say you guys. It was you doing like the
challenge.
No, what's the dog's name?
Oh,
Panda.
yeah.
The panda calls.
Yeah, that was so good.
Those were so
Did you
good.
put in the song, or was it Dave that
No,
put
that's Dave.
Yeah, that was so
All
good.
the production part was Dave. Yeah. I would literally just call in and do my bit, and Dave would dress me up so well
Yeah,
for those
yeah.
things.
No, that was the same for when I did the initial call, like
Black Olives?
No.
Are we allowed to talk about that?
Was that
Black Olives Matter.
was that against was that me against you or me against Brett Danger?
No, that was you.
Brett.
That was you and me. Yeah.
Me and you, right?
And what
yeah, that's what,
I know you caught a little flack for the Black Olives Matter bit, but what I found so much funnier was that like not a month before that I had done one of my what was it? Senior unpaid political news correspondent bits where I was talking about like apartment owners not being allowed to have cats anymore, and so I said like, well, here, tune in next week to listen to part 2 of my interview with the leader of the 9 Lives Matter movement.
yeah.
Not a word about that. Did not get in trouble for that.
No.
And the funny thing
Bretzky thrown to the wolves. Scotty Dangerously living it up. Perfect.
Brett
the
was
funny.
really worried when that happened.
Oh,
you
my
were
God.
freaking out.
Yeah, you went dark real quick. We're like, is he okay?
all my fucking profile pictures changed.
He became like a turtle, just.
But the
Yeah.
funny thing was too with that was that I had collaborated with another buddy on that skit.
Oh, no,
and,
fool.
and he was always bugging me to give him like
credit.
Credit.
accolades when we did our shit. And so I was like, okay, bud, well, we're trending now. So do you want me to put your name out there or what?
Fuck, that was. I mean,
Surprisingly,
the-
he wasn't in.
Honestly, man, that was the fun part about Wheeler After Dark is we could get away with making these like ridiculously inappropriate yet still funny
They were
bits.
off-color jokes, but they
Yeah.
weren't.
They weren't
off-color.
insensitive. Like, they might be construed as insensitive and stuff, but they weren't offensive. There was never any malice in any of those
No,
kind of
it-
bits
it
to
was-
make them actually offend people.
It was always
if you got offended, that's your problem.
exactly, yeah.
Well, and even then, that bit there had relevance to the show because Jags in previous episodes had been talking about his hatred of black olives.
Yeah.
So it was
Black
like,
Olives,
It was
Sudbury,
irrelevant.
Ontario.
Exactly, yeah.
And so like there
Sweatpants.
was context to the joke, but without the context, you ended up in this cancel culture.
It was
piece
still
of bullshit.
fine without the context.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah.
It really was. It
Not,
was.
well,
little
not to mouth
bitches.
breathers, but you know.
No, but you know,
But we're in a-
generally, I think people don't like black olives on a pizza. Like I know lots of
Yeah.
people that don't like black olives.
Also,
right?
that's hilarious wordplay.
it is.
It's not offensive. That's hilarious.
Exactly,
wordplay.
yeah.
Get over yourself. If
Right.
you got offended by that, that's a problem with you.
Then yeah, exactly. Turn this off right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Right now, you're watching
you
this.
made the choice to
fuck you.
listen to
Don't
this.
listen to this if you're a pussy.
Yeah,
This
exactly.
this wasn't public radio. You did not just randomly
Pussy.
tune to this. You went out of your way to find this episode and listen to it. Like the person who found it was digging.
Yeah,
Yes.
oh, absolutely.
definitely.
And they took just that section.
Exactly. They
And
were
they
looking
were-
for anything they could find to disparage Dave. That's all this was about. It was a man.
And the funny that like this guy made himself look stupid because like, well, Wheeler clearly doesn't like black people, and it's like it wasn't even him saying
Yeah,
it.
he
It
didn't
was somebody
even
else
say
that
it.
called into his show. So
and he
yeah,
aired every call.
yeah. So
Yeah.
it was stupid. So speaking of calls,
Yep.
we do have a bit on our show
Okay.
called the Confession Booth, where people can go on our website and leave a voicemail.
They usually don't.
They usually don't, and like just like this week, we don't have any.
Okay.
So
Do you want to call it right now? and
no,
leave
I
us
was
a
just gonna
message?
say, can you make a live, unpaid, whatever you were doing?
Tell you what, let's move on to our next subject, and we'll circle back to this. And I
Okay.
should have something ready for
Okay,
you.
okay.
I usually have my phone on me, and I can write up a quick bit. Okay, so they have a recurring bit on this show, and it's the ad read. And so what they do is they start off with it's I think 30 seconds long, and it's the same thing that you got to read for Rumors Comedy Club, We just give a brief description of rumors, and then we announce who's coming up on the event listings and everything. The second half is about the booze that we're drinking that week that's been provided to us. So go ahead about 30 seconds on this one. And the funny part about this is I write these, and Brett has not pre-read it
Okay.
at
Make sure
all.
please visit rumorscomingclub.com and tell them that the boys at Whiskey Tango Podcast sent you, because it will not help you.
I'm Ron Burgundy.
Yeah. Go fuck yourself,
Today,
San Diego.
we are sampling. Wait for it. Today we're sampling Capital K Distillery's Chili Vodka. A small batch craft spirit that's made right here in the greatest city in the world, Winnipeg, Manitoba. Alright? Capital K brings us this vodka to add a little spice in our life. It's a great addition to your Caesar, Bloody Mary, or if you're feeling spicy, pun intended, use it in place of tequila in your next margarita. Wow. I tell you, this beverage is muy picante. I know how to say muy. Muy picante is spicy. Taking a shot of this made me rename my mouth El Casa del Fuego. Wow, Brett James, how are you so fluent in Espanol? Well, I've never told anybody this, but Mama Brett James is my adopted mother. My real parents are from Albuquerque, the real center of Mexican heritage. Oh my goodness. Oh, my mother was a Spanish angel, and my father was a dyscalculate Clydesdale with a crippling overbite. Sipping this vodka made me wistful and makes this luchador yearn for home. And for that reason, this delicious and locally distilled vodka has earned its place of honor upon our shelves and in my heart.
Wow, that's
I'm
a
Brett
great
James,
idea for
and I
ad
approve
read.
this spirit.
So
I love that.
the funny part about that is he has no idea what I've written there.
Yeah, that's
and
good.
I usually have.
Do you guys have like a screen where he?
Yeah, we got a
okay,
TV screen that we can read it off of and everything. It's a little bit more noticeable on the Dangerously Incomparable
Yeah,
one
yeah.
because it's at like a 45-degree angle. So anytime we do weekend update bits, we're like,
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
watching it like that, and it's. But it's no. So I write down a quick ad read, and I've got all of 5-10 minutes to write something, and so like. I just come up with the stupidest thing I can possibly think of and get him to do it.
Oh,
and like I
that's
said,
fucking
he has
hilarious.
no idea what he's reading. And like sometimes they're just kind of funny, and sometimes he's like in this case where he's just like Albuquerque, the real center of Mexican heritage.
As soon as he said like my mother is this and my father, I thought you were gonna say my father is Heisenberg. Oh no, it's coming. No, it didn't come.
No, his father's a dyscalculate Clydesdale with a crippling overbite apparently. So yeah, we just do those kind of like this not so much Dangerously Incomparable, but Whiskey Tango has made me really work on like just on the fly writing humor kind of thing.
So when you guys, even during the Wheeler After Dark podcast and right now, like, do you just sit at home and just write shit down, or do you guys actually get together and like, okay, let's put something together, and then you just make a list of like,
Him and I really didn't collaborate a lot together. It was about a handful of episodes where we'd both called in and stuff, like the one where we go after Canadian maple donuts, where we like do it like a To Catch a Predator type. Yeah, we did that together. I think we had one where we were Mario, and I forget what it was. We were so drunk. Also, getting drunk and calling the Dave line, not as advertised. It's horrible. It's not. It's not
those were the
nearly
best
as
ones.
funny.
How do you think all of this started?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
I was at home, you were at home, and we're just like, hey, we should call in. And then so we're like, that's where the Bretzky came in, like,
the way
to play.
Because Tommy's like, what should I call you?
Yeah. And,
And we went off that.
You said first like the WB.
Well, it was the last time I had like played a fucking like gig like with my buddy as a quote unquote band, we called ourselves the Wayne Bretzkys. So
Yeah.
I was just like, hey, let's go with that. And you were like, yeah, let's just go with that.
So we called into the Dave line, like he called in first,
Yeah.
then I called in right away, and it was as they played it, it was literally like as we were calling each other.
And
having-
Jags used to have the whole thing about no two calls, right?
Yeah.
And we each called in at least 4 times that
was-
night.
yeah,
like
it
it was back and forth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We made sure we just like
He was
highlighted the
disgusted,
message and-
but
Did
yeah.
we ever find out who the Morden Safety Club was?
No.
Or the safety the safety committee?
No,
those
I
are
was
fine.
actually just thinking about them with the safety meetings just a couple weeks ago. I was like, I miss those guys. That was funny when they would call in with the safety
Yeah.
meetings.
Yeah. There was a lot of them that were just great on there.
But so now you guys hang out a little more often, right? So do you guys?
Oh no, we
don't?
hung out all the time. We've been
Okay,
inseparable
okay,
for the
yeah,
last
yeah.
17 years. Yeah.
Oh, okay, so
we're best friends. We always have been.
so
kind of
these things just kind of come to you, and then
yeah.
you just
So
like write it down.
for me, it was just I'd be. Like I suffer from insomnia among other problems, but
Clearly.
insomnia is about the worst for me. And there are times where it's not staying asleep; it's just getting to sleep. That's
Yeah.
my biggest problem. And so oftentimes I'd be up till 2, 3, 4 in the morning,
Yeah.
and I'd just start coming up with like just really stupid ideas.
Yeah.
And that's
That's why you're awake, because you're entertaining yourself.
That's kind of the silver. Yeah, that's the silver lining with this kind of thing is like, yeah, insomnia sucks and everything, but you know what? My best material always
It
came.
makes you so delirious.
It
that
can, yeah,
all these
exactly.
ideas
It
are
drives you
coming in your
into
head.
a little bit of madness.
Yeah.
Not a lot of madness. I'm not about to shoot up a school, but I'm gonna write something funny. So, well, that might be a little bit of a tasteless joke
Oh,
there,
but-
but
Have you tried
No, it's-
marijuana?
yes, and that's actually the only thing that's been putting me to sleep. I'm a
That's
little scared
the
to use
only
anything
way I
of
fall
prescription
asleep.
strength.
I tried
family-
it. It sucks, man.
My family has a history of prescription drug abuse, and not my immediate family, but my extended family does, and I don't want to get near that. I've been very against that kind of stuff before, so I don't think my mom and dad will ever watch this, and I've never told them publicly or anything, but yeah, I smoke weed. I smoke weed every night, and that's the only way I can get to sleep these days, and it sucks, but it's a reality. So,
So does Nomad.
I've been
You're not
trying
alone.
to wean
yeah,
off. Like,
well, and you're down
I'm-
in the States too, because how the hell does that work? Like,
yeah, it's illegal there.
Yeah, like that's got to be, and not like illegal in Canada
They
pre
can
2018.
shoot you in the
No.
face for like having
you're-
weed.
Yeah,
down
you're
there.
gonna actually get booked.
Yeah, but actually, I mean, I had a way to get it anyway, but now they have Delta 8 down there, which is for some reason legal.
We have Delta 9, don't we?
I don't
Yeah,
know.
that's
Is that
The
something-
states have 8. Okay.
Yeah, what's the number?
'Cause
for
there's-
them?
I don't know. It's just
they're
what
a
it's-
level lower.
what it's called,
Yeah,
but
they're
it's like
beneath us.
apparently just CBD, but it fucks you right up.
All right.
It's-
Then
So
it
they
is
just
not
put
just-
CBD on the label,
it,
but
it is
didn't
not
really-
just CBD if it fucks
It
you up.
can't be.
Yeah.
I don't understand why it's legal, but
yeah, like
holy
my-
Yeah, but they
shit.
also sell what's that other shit you always
Kratom.
drink down there? Kratom.
Kratom. Yeah, Kratom is apparently
That's an
legal here,
opiate.
too.
Yeah, but it's legal.
Yeah.
Like Kratom, like in my neighbor just went to Thailand a couple months ago, and he came back, and apparently the owner there, he left him like the kava leaves,
Yeah.
and that's what
well,
it is.
That's different. Kratom and kava are different.
Well, it's
I've seen kava leaf get
don't you drink
confiscated
Kratom at
on
kava
border
bars?
security.
yeah, but you can also get kava at kava bars. So kava is like this gross sewage-looking water that tastes like
Oh, I'm thinking of a
sewage
plant.
water. It is
I'm
from
thinking
a
of-
plant.
no, but it
okay,
is a
I'm
plant,
thinking of the kava plant that they always like stop in border security, and they'll open up a rice cooker
Yeah,
from
yeah, yeah.
India. They're like, oh, that's not suspicious. A rice cooker coming from India.
Yeah.
They open it up, and it's just full of like plants
yeah.
that are just illegal in Canada.
Yeah.
It's like, really, man, a rice cooker? That's the best you could come up with? You can't buy rice cookers in Canada. You have to get them shipped to you? Like,
yeah,
Yeah.
Come on.
right?
Get a bit more inventive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what they do with dildos too. They put like little faces on them. So
And
they're like,
rice cookers?
This isn't a sexual.
Yes, dildos and rice cookers.
This
Wait.
isn't a sexual toy. It's a.
Are you not
it's
allowed
a
to
bunny
ship?
rabbit.
Are you not allowed to ship sexual toys
It's a
from
happy
China?
I
massager.
don't really understand it.
Oh, speaking
That's why
of
they put bunnies
New
on
from
them.
Hasbro, the Happy Massager.
speaking of sex toys, have you guys seen
What?
those videos
Rolls
where
downstairs?
like
You'll have an orgasmic time
Yeah.
with Hasbro's new.
where families going on a family trip and they pack like a giant dildo in mom's fucking carry-on, you know, and they're like,
Oh yeah.
and they're like opening it up at the check, and then they pull this dildo, and the whole family literally drops laughing, and the mom's like, "Oh my!"
Oh my!
Those are fucking. Or like for the dad, they give like a dildo or like a blow-up doll in there, you know, and they just take the package out.
I had
I want to do that so bad to someone.
I was flying from Grand Forks to Vegas with my wife, and I was gonna propose to her on that trip.
Aw.
And so,
But you didn't.
no, I did.
Well, you said I was gonna.
Yeah, I was going. Yeah,
Yeah,
That
okay.
changes
It didn't
my
work out.
mind.
Thanks for asking.
Yeah. She said no.
I cried ever since. No, but going through like security screening, I'm like, shit. I have the ring like tucked away in my bag. What if they like just pull the bag and start looking through it? And the whole time I'm thinking like, should I say something? Do I not say something? So I said something to the first lady. Like my wife was already going through and everything. So hey, listen, if you guys need to check my bag, would you please do so privately? There's an engagement ring in there. My wife doesn't know. My girlfriend doesn't know about it yet. Oh yeah, sure, no problem.
They're
Okay.
like, that's awfully suspicious.
Oh yeah, sure enough. Guy pulls it aside, starts looking through it, and I'm like, she hasn't said anything to him.
Yeah.
And so I'm like trying to get the guy's attention, like, hey, would you like? And he's like, what? Do you have anything to hide? And I'm like,
Yes.
Yes.
and at that point, I had to like, because my wife's within earshot, I had to go like, what do I say at this point? And I go, no. And I'm thinking in my head like, yeah, you're not intelligent enough to find it anyways.
Yeah.
I'm fine. You're an idiot, so I'll be okay. And sure enough, I was okay because he was an idiot.
Yeah. You know, going through checks, like the customs, the Canadian customs is always just so nice. Like when I travel to Europe, I went through Austria. I flew through Austria, and then
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
When you would travel from Slovakia to to Czech Republic, is that a Czech stop?
no, there's no border anymore. So in
You're
Austria,
among friends here,
they were
Bretzky.
still
I appreciated that.
Thank you.
they were
Thank
still
you.
giving stamps in the passport, right? So, and I don't usually like care, right? But I was just like, I'll check. I haven't seen people stamp the passport in forever, right? So I just looked at it. I'm like,
Yeah.
wait a second.
That says terrorist.
Well, no, yeah, no. So what it was like, it was tomorrow's date, and I'm just like, I have like a 4-hour layover. By the time I arrive to Canada, it will be tomorrow's date, and they'll be like, well, what does it say today when you came from this flight? You know, it might be confusing. So I just like went back. I'm like, hey, like, just want to make sure that this is not a mistake or what, you know. And they're like, well, what do you want?
Sir,
No,
please.
no, they're-
Sir, step away.
Literally, this. What do you want me to do?
Yeah.
I'm like, I just want to make sure that I'm not going to get fucking, somebody's going to look at it, you know, it's going to be confusing, right? And then, you know, she ended up changing the stamp, and then got to Canada, and they're like, hey guys, come on, welcome in, you know, like so friendly. I love it. We
Why do you
went
have
to-
two stamps, asshole?
Yeah, right. No, Canadians are super nice. Even before I was a Canadian citizen, I had my permanent resident card. Every time they would ask, like, you know, where did you go? But always friendly, super nice people.
I've had more trouble coming back into Canada than leaving Canada.
Oh, see, I never.
Yeah.
And then but we were going to Vegas. It was my father-in-law's 70th birthday, so we got him a surprise ticket. Me, my brother-in-law, and him went to Vegas, and we literally told him on a Sunday, and we're like, okay, we're flying on Thursday. Like, we're going to Vegas, right? And at the time, he still worked. He was a dentist, so we made sure that his patients are canceled for that day. But we left it in the book, right? And so we get to the American customs, right? And we're super excited, right? And like I always joke about my father-in-law being old. Like, I mean, fuck, he was turning 70, right? So they're like, anything to declare? I'm like, oh, just this old fart, you know? And like everybody, like people that were around, they started laughing. The American guy, not funny.
Oh, there's
Move on. I was just like, come on. Like, that was a fucking funny joke.
Yeah,
you
that
know?
was
like,
good.
Like, even my father-in-law was like, oh, shut up, you know? Like, but that, like,
Give credit where credit's due, fuck.
all right, exactly. Except you.
like, you think they just hire miserable people,
Yeah.
or they just have to pretend to be miserable?
What
Yeah.
do they have to be miserable about?
I don't
Right?
know.
They
I
got
don't
nothing.
understand it.
They
Yeah.
got nothing
Yeah.
to be miserable about. They have a great paying job where you have to do jack shit. Like, really, watch what they actually do at their job and tell me that they deserve the wage that they get. They don't.
No,
but they
don't.
do get it, and good on them for it that
Yeah.
they can get it. And
Don't be a dick.
do they get great benefits?
Oh,
Yep.
fuck.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Do they get a pension plan?
Oh,
Yep.
very good pension plan.
Do many industries offer either one of those things to that same level? No. None do. So they're getting a great deal, and yet they still they just still whine and moan and bitch about all of that stuff. And it's like, what do you have to be pissed about? You have a great paying job. You're going to be retired before you're 60. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I do have to give credit to the American Customs at Pembina border, because when we went to Wisconsin Knotfest, I went with my buddy, you know Kenny. He always he looks high when he's not high.
Yep.
Yeah.
My buddy Chris, he's tatted, he has tats everywhere. My buddy Wes had fucking dreadlocks, and I had like a fucking jihad bush at the time. And so I'm like, guys, like, I'm pulling a trailer. We're getting
a stripper named Tommy
Yeah.
Jihadi.
I was like, we're getting pulled over for sure at the border, right? Sure enough, they're pull up to number 5, you know. So I pull in. I was like, listen, like, it's a 1988 pop-up tent trailer. Let me open it up for you, you know, like, you can be right beside me. Like, I have no weapons, you know, there's knives in that drawer there are camping knives, you know.
I don't want to
like,
break it. Let me
but
open
I was
it
like,
up
let
for
me,
you.
because I already broken one key and I only have one key left. You know, like, I know how to open. They're like, okay, yeah, no problem. So they open it up, you know. I open it up for them, and they look through it. The only thing is that they ended up breaking, because they ended up pulling back my SUV's side panel, and it was just they ripped the knobs off, right? So then they just kind of placed it back, and I noticed it after. I'm like, fuck, you could have just said like, hey, we looked back there and broke. I would have been like, okay, fine. Then.
CBP, which is Canadian Border Patrol, or not, I don't know what, something Border
CBS.
Patrol. No, CBP.
It's Canadian.
No,
Border.
the CBSA.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That's what
but
it
the
is.
American one is CBP. And
Letters.
yeah, acronyms.
The more you know.
Yeah, CBP is they're the Americans letting you into their country.
Yeah.
And for the vast majority of times I've gone down there, never a problem. My buddy and I went down there. We were traveling. We did this really weird trip where we went from Vancouver to Edmonton down to Calgary, and then we went right down to the States in Montana, traveled through Idaho to get to Nevada, and then got to California. I got to LA and went back up.
Yeah.
And so when we were traveling, we were going over the Cardston border crossing. I think it's called Cardston border crossing, just directly south of Calgary. And I told my buddy at the last gas station, I said, pull over. And he goes, oh, okay, sure. So he pulls over. I go, we got to get rid of any weed that you have, because he's a huge pot smoker at that time. And I think he still is. But yeah, huge pot smoker. Like, Mark, you got to pull out whatever you got and throw it out. He's like, even my pipe, especially your pipe. Throw it all out, man. He's like, okay. So he throws all of it out, and we're like, okay, is that it? And he's like, I think I got a roach. I'm like, throw it the fuck out. So we get rid of everything. We go over the border. There's the dogs, and I'm like, oh shit, we are.
Yeah.
So sure enough, anything to declare? No. Where are you guys? Where are you guys going? We're like, oh well, we're gonna go to LA eventually, but we're just gonna drive through Montana and Idaho and Nevada and everything. And he's like, why? We're like, well, it's a road trip. We're gonna go to Vegas for a couple days. We're gonna go to LA for a couple days, maybe San Francisco. You know, and he's like, And where are you guys coming from? We're like, oh, we live in Vancouver. And he's like, and
Pull over.
what are you doing? What are you doing all the way over here? We're like, oh, we were visiting my ex at the time. Like, oh, I wanted to visit, my ex who lives in Red Deer, and all right, pull into the garage, please.
Yeah.
Oh, god damn it, we're screwed. And so sure enough, we pull in. He's like, all right, just have a seat in the waiting area.
Yeah.
So we're seated there, and I'll never forget this, because there's a big old picture of George W. Bush, who's the acting president at the time there. And
Was it in a V shape?
No, you got the old Dick Cheney there right beside him there, and this is rural Montana that we're driving into.
Oh,
I think Shelby, Montana. It's very red state-esque.
Yeah.
And so we're like, okay, and I keep hearing this little, like, what is that sound? And we're sitting there, and I'm like, what is that sound? So I look over. There's my buddy Mark, and he is high as fuck. He didn't bother to. I was driving, but he didn't bother to tell me. He didn't throw out the weed. He smoked it. And there he is, shitting his pants, terrified. And I guess his logic of thinking is, if they can't see me, they won't know that I'm high. So he's holding a newspaper up like this, but he's utterly terrified, so he's shaking it. I'm like, Mark, and he's, yeah? Put the paper down. He's like, what? He's like, just put the paper down. It's rattling, man. He's like, okay. Puts on his sunglasses and just like that the rest of the time, just knuckling it. And sure enough, guy comes back. So where are you guys headed to again? Well, we're going down through, and I repeated it.
He's like, I want the other guy to answer.
Yeah, I repeated it. Hilariously enough, I repeated it word for word and everything. And, going through Montana, going through Idaho, going to drive down through Nevada to get to Las Vegas, stay there for a couple nights, and then head to L.A. for a couple nights, and then up to San Francisco, and then back home. And he's like, okay, okay, thank you very much. And 10 minutes later, comes back in again. I'm like, what are they looking for in this car that they... Obviously, the dogs can smell it. They just can't find it at this point. And I'm like, can they reject us just basically on the smell?
No,
God,
they can't.
I hope not.
No, they can't.
Well, I don't know. There's a lot of things they can't do that they actually do. Yeah, it's crazy.
You need to know certain rules. Yeah, if you
they can basically do whatever the hell they want. There is and there's nothing that's ever going to happen to them.
Yeah.
Nothing will ever be actually levied against them.
No,
yeah. Which is another huge bonus point if you work in border security. Another great, not just great benefits, but you're never going to get fired. So 10 minutes goes by. Guy comes back again. Same question. So, sorry, one more time. I didn't write it down last time. Where are you guys headed?
Sure, yeah.
And at this point, I'm like, oh, that motherfucker, he's looking for us to slip up. I've watched Law and Order before. I know how this goes.
I watched Law and Order, CSI.
Yeah. And I go to say, he's like,
you just shout, Mexico.
I want your friend to answer this one. And I was like,
oh no.
Shit.
Oh.
So then my buddy, Mark, God bless his soul, turns to the guy and just turns on the charm. Well, we're going to head to Montana first, and then we're going to go to Idaho, and then we're going to drive directly south down through Nevada. We're probably going to stay in Las Vegas for a couple of days, and then we'll transfer over to Los Angeles from there, maybe stay 2 more days, and then we might spend a night in San Francisco. And I'm like, God damn, you had it in you this whole time, you son of a bitch. And we were just laughing the whole rest of the day.
Yeah.
All we could get past was just how funny that encounter was.
So I had a buddy that got pulled over at the border, and he had a little bit of cocaine residue on the credit card.
Oh, Jesus.
They still let him go because he was basically
yeah.
I was like,
I don't know what happened. I was at a party. Somebody took my credit card.
No. Honestly, they were just like, look.
I just tried to buy a T-shirt.
They told me. No, they told him, it was like, look, man, we don't care if you use it. We care if you take it. He's like, no, last night we had a party. I used my credit card. That's all it is. He's like,
we're at a party.
Take the dog.
DJ Blitz said he was going to use my credit card to buy Slurpees. I didn't see him for an hour.
Shout out to DJ Blitz. I'm tagging him.
No. I don't know the guy. I haven't heard any negative thing about him.
Yeah.
He just,
But
he's a mid-level celebrity that I could imagine doing cocaine.
I had a similar border experience to that too, where we went and we were going down to WeFest, which is like country Woodstock, basically.
So it's not put on by the We charity.
No.
Okay.
No.
Good.
No,
we should differentiate that right now.
Yeah. And so
Wayne Bretzky had no part of the We charity.
We're going down there, and my buddy's like, oh, just like his girlfriend had some friends who were coming, and he was like, can you take them in your car? And I'm like, yeah, I guess, whatever. We have a few extra spots. So we're going down. And we get to the border, and sure enough, they make us do the pull in, and so they're checking out the car, and they make us all go sit in this like side room, and we're all sitting there, and all of a sudden, like literally, door kicks open, and guys with like fucking AK-47s are like, "Whose fucking bag is this? Whose bag is this?" And they have this purse in their hand, and sure enough, one of the girls who I said, "Yeah, you can hop in my car." I was like, "Oh, that's my bag," and I'm just like, "For fuck's sake!" So apparently she had gone camping a few months earlier and had like a keychain pipe in one of the side pouches and had just left it there. And so they basically made her do this declaration of it's not being confiscated, it's just being left behind. But we still had to sit there for hours.
Meaning paychecks not till next Friday, and we need to get fucked up this weekend.
Yeah. But meanwhile, they
I'm on to
separated
this.
the rest of the group, and then they started like they put us each in a room, and they had this little fucking like 3 foot tall little Mexicano guy who was just like coming up to me like bumping chest and like, "Hey bud, you got some drugs in the car?" And I'm like, "No man, I have no drugs in the car."
This is like a planted snitch? Or?
And he's doing these like, "Well, my dog smells drugs in your car, and you know what? There's 2 things I know in this world: 1, people lie, and 2, my dog doesn't."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Okay, great."
line.
And he's like, "So where are the drugs?" I'm like, "I don't."
I'd be like number 3.
know.
I've seen Law and Order before. I know this act.
Well, and he just like he keeps leaning in so hard on this, and I'm like, "Dude, I don't know what to tell you, man." Like, he's like, "Do you want me to tell?" Hey, yeah, where'd they fucking come from?
Fuck off, out.
But he's like, "Do you want me to tear your car apart?" And I'm like, "No." He's like, "Well, then tell me where the drugs are." I'm like, "I can't do that because there's no drugs." Like, I don't know what you want from me here. And it was a long, drawn-out process. But essentially, same deal. They brought us all into different rooms. We all gave the exact same story.
Yeah.
And then they were just like, "Oh, fuck." But when we got back, they had literally taken like any shampoo or anything that we had and just like emptied it all over the fucking table.
What was the border crossing?
Emerson,
Oh, okay.
I believe.
Did you get to spend your time in that little triangle white room thing? They got?
It was a very small,
Yeah.
like
And there's only 3 walls. Like
4 by
am I in
8
a triangle
yeah.
room?
Yeah.
I was recently in that triangle room.
But yeah.
Yeah, we heard.
At the end of the day, like they literally like emptied everything out, and we were like, "Oh, you guys like dumped out everything, but didn't put it back." And they're like, "Yeah, we're good at taking it apart, but not putting it back together."
Yeah.
And we're just like,
I'm
"Oh,
surprised that's still a
cool,
legal
bro.
thing.
We didn't do anything wrong though, so
Yeah.
you're an asshole."
It's 2022. How is that still legal? That you can just tear a person's shit apart for absolutely no reason. You have no cause to do it other than a hunch. And you can tear that person's entire vehicle apart and then go have fun putting it back together and
at
walk
least,
away.
At least tell me the you know what?
Yeah.
I don't weigh the.
It's
I don't
like
the way
farting
you
in an
guys
elevator and
look,
then
you know,
walking out the
whatever.
door.
Give me a fucking reason. At
Yeah.
least,
yeah,
you know?
you guys were assholes about
Yeah.
this, so
Yeah.
put this back yourselves.
Me and my ex went to Cuba. This was a long time ago. He was wearing a Bob Marley t-shirt.
Which
Fake
you should
dread-
always wear
fake
going
dreads.
through border
I
crossings.
think he was wearing a Bob Marley t-shirt, and he was wearing a hat that, I don't know, it was something else that made him look like a stoner, and he just had like kind of long floppy hair. And we walk off the plane. It's like one of the ones you're outside. You walk off down the staircase, and he's like, "Hello, Cuba!" And we walk into the door, and like immediately
And they're just
someone's like, "Come with us, please." And then they bring us into a room. They had 3 different dogs come in to sniff out all our luggage, and then they did chemical tests on my ex's
on
wallet.
his wiener.
Yes.
It's like
No, yeah, they took his wallet and like scraped all the lint out, and they
Yeah.
were doing tests on it, and we were like, "This is the weirdest shit ever." And then someone else at the airport, we were like getting our bags or something, and he was like, "How far along are you?" I was like, "This is the worst airport visit
wow.
ever."
You were that fat?
No, I wasn't even. It was very strange.
Were you walking around like this with your holding your back a little bit?
Tell me what other profession you could get away with asking a woman
Right?
that.
Right?
Yeah. So not only great benefits, great pension, you know,
You can be dick
you
to
cannot
women.
be nothing can ever be levied against you. You're never going to get fired. But you can also insinuate women are pregnant when they're not.
It was
Yeah.
he like looked so excited about it too, and I just looked down.
That
I was
he's
like,
he's not excited that you might be carrying. He's excited that he can ask you that and never have a thing happen against him.
You know what?
And
That
you can't even give him
finally makes
shit.
sense.
Yeah, exactly. Because if you give him grief about it, well, now you're getting your butt checked.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
Yeah.
Little do they know.
Maybe
I'm
that's
into
what they-
that.
Yeah.
I'm not pregnant. Well, then I'm gonna need to check inside your vagina.
Yeah, that's where I keep my
Man.
Chinese finger
Yeah,
toy.
yeah, but,
I can't get it out. What the hell?
and Nomad would be like, oh no,
The
she
harder I
would
pull, the tighter it gets.
like spread her butt cheeks like, ma'am, we need to check your vagina, not your butthole. Oh well, just check the butthole too.
You should probably check them both.
Well,
Two for the price of one.
I mentioned it on the show, like when the first show you were back, but yeah, she was traveling back. She was like, we were messaging like, oh, I'm at the border. I was like, just go there and whisper quietly, it's not there.
It's
It's in my butt. Yeah. All right, so last
the cooter, not the pooter.
last episode, what we started doing, we started doing a top 3 for every show. And since you've been doing comedy skits, so I'm gonna just ask everybody here to name the top 3 favorite comedy movies.
Top 3 favorite comedy movies.
And that's why I usually I would bring it up for, but there's so many I think we can come up with. And I think
I got mine.
yeah, like I figured this guy's gonna be done right away. But so if you want to go last,
Well, yeah, give
Okay.
Bretzky first.
I'm gonna go with what we mentioned earlier. Dirty Work is definitely on that list. I'm gonna say Super Troopers because that has always been a favorite of mine. I can literally recite every word of that movie.
Because most of them are meow.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
And Hot Rod with Andy Samberg.
Oh, yeah. Cool beans.
Cool beans.
Cool beans.
That's a good one.
Cool
yeah.
beans.
I said you look shitty. Good night, Denise.
But yeah, I think those are the 3 comedies that I can fall back on anytime and still
Scotty.
love them each time.
All right, Dirty Work has to be on there.
It does.
Yeah.
It is, Norm Macdonald's comedic brain is so wildly different than basically anything else you'll ever see. And he got Bob Saget directing it, and he got Artie Lang before he became Artie Lang.
He never became popular.
Side
but-
note: have you seen Artie Lang's nose lately?
No.
It collapsed. He's
Oh,
done
no.
so much drugs. His nose, like the nasal cavity in his nose, has
It's
actually
not like Chris
colla-
Farley in the movie with the Saigon
No.
whore.
No, it's actually it's really sad to see because his nose is like he's done so much drugs. I think he ended up doing like blow that had bits of glass in it or something, and he developed this wicked infection. Anyways, his nose is just collapsed in itself. Just go ahead and Google Artie Lang's Artie Lang nose
Yeah,
or
I'll
whatever.
pull it up here.
It's weird.
I felt like I live under a rock this whole episode. I know almost nothing of what anyone has been talking about. Who the fuck's Artie Lang?
Okay, not
Oh, RD.
no RT like
Is it
ARTIE.
RT? Okay.
Yeah. Well, there's the guy. I don't see anything
This is what he's trying to
Is that the
show.
one?
there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, his nose is just collapsed in itself.
Oh.
It's weird. Like it's bad. Like that's
Oh my
I think that's
God.
after he did the glass there. And
That is terrifying. I don't like it. Put it away.
no, and that's swollen. So once that swelling went down, it was just it's weird.
So
Like,
we're gonna,
But for those reasons, Dirty Work is probably the greatest comedy movie in my opinion. The next one I got to go with is Dumb and Dumber.
Oh yeah.
From a writing standpoint alone, that is a movie that. Excuse me, dog. You're bumping the microphone stand. This is just not acceptable.
Just push him out.
There you go. So yeah, the Farrelly brothers, fantastic. The writing in there, it's one of those movies. Dumb and Dumber is one of those very few movies where every time you watch, you find a new funny point.
It's something little, like that. Oh
new
shit!
little
I never noticed that.
A new
or,
little
yeah.
gem, yeah. Like just so many. Like when he's getting pulled over by the cop's like, "Pull over! What? Pull over! No, it's a cardigan.
Yeah,
but thanks for noticing." Like, yeah, sweet boots, man. Like just small things like
The
that.
little one-liners. Eh?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, the little one-liners that you never pick up on. and they're like there's actually just too many to mention in that. That's not even a good example, but there's so many jokes in there that you just wouldn't think about. And Jim Carrey at his comedic peak,
Absolutely,
and an absolute stalwart in acting, not just in comedy acting, but in acting with Jeff Daniels. Like that's. You could not go wrong with that movie. They knew what they were doing, and the fact that they did not, the producers did not want to do the original ending, and Jim Carrey pushed for it anyways. He's like, "No, we're not getting on that bus. We're letting it go."
Yeah.
And they're like, "No, they're supposed to have a happy ending. They're supposed." He's like, "No, they're not supposed to have a happy
it wouldn't
ending."
be right.
Exactly, and that's. I think if they got on that bus, I don't think we'd be talking about the Dumb and Dumber in the same way.
Nope.
It just it held true till the end on that.
Yeah.
And then number 3, Tommy Boy.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I mean,
Absolutely.
Chris
Fat
Farley.
man in a little coat.
Yeah. A lot of I think all the guys except for me when we did another thing of best SNL cast of all time. And I was the only guy that did not say Chris Farley because I don't think Chris Farley brought anything new to Saturday Night Live. He did what John Belushi did.
Fair enough. Yeah.
And what Horatio Sands did after him and what Will Sasso did on Mad TV. You're just the fat, out of control, funny guy.
Yep.
It's a time on. I mean, John Candy did it. Not so much on the out of control part, but the John Candy did it.
I actually just watched the other day a Kevin Farley stand-up, which is his brother.
Yeah, who canceled.
Fantastic.
He had shows this month in Winnipeg, and he canceled.
Did he?
Oh, shit.
Because it was really good.
He is very good.
I
Yeah.
thoroughly enjoyed his stand-up.
Yeah. So yeah, I got to go Tommy Boy on that one. I mean, you got David Spade, who he
Classic
was
as well.
never
Who I
funnier.
also want to see coming to Winnipeg.
But he was never funnier than when he was with.
No.
Yeah, and he's still okay on his own. He still does good, but I mean, he
With
will
Farley-
never have what he had with Chris Farley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd go with those 3.
Nomad?
It's almost like
Can you take that picture off?
Oh, sorry. It's still there, yeah.
it's almost like Dana Carvey with Mike Myers. Like it's
Yeah, it really is because that Master Disguise movie was just a terrible movie.
which if anyone who hasn't watched the Pentaveret yet
great.
on Netflix,
No.
it's Mike Myers.
Mike Myers has lost my confidence.
It's basically like Austin Powers, but they say fucking cunt all the time. Like it is unreal. It is really funny. I thoroughly enjoy it. There's only 6 episodes, but it is really good.
Okay, Nomad?
You said I could go last.
Okay. So my my number 1 was Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fucking like the first time I saw that when did the movie come out? Like
95.
Okay, I was going
Can
to
I
say
guess?
94.
Can I
but
guess your movies? Or the other one, Step Brothers?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
Close, but no. It's all it's
Anchorman?
almost there. No.
Oh, okay.
So-
I'll
But the first time I saw it, so yeah, 95. So I was 10 years old.
Okay.
The farting scene or the shitting scene where he was like,
where he takes
yeah.
the turbo lax.
Oh my
Yeah.
god! Like I laughed so hard, and I remember as a 10-year-old, I was pretending to do exactly the same thing on the shitter. My mom was like, "What the fuck are you doing?" You know?
legs out.
Yeah. I was just like, yeah. I was making all these sounds, taking a poo, and my mom was like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "Yep." So that's number 1. Hot Shots. Like Leslie Nielsen.
Wow.
Leslie Nielsen was my absolute fucking favorite.
I'll give respect to that.
Yeah, that's you don't hear about that movie enough.
Well, I mean,
Hot
he
Shots
died.
Part 2, I just watched a couple weeks back.
I mean, and that still holds its own too. But
It
I mean,
does.
When was the last time Hot Shots got mentioned in a best of comedy?
a very long time.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Dracula Dead and Loving It is
Yeah.
also another one of Leslie Nielsen's
Yeah,
greatest.
Leslie Nielsen was-
and the entire Naked Gun series.
Yeah,
Like, you
Naked
can't-
Gun. Yeah, I mean, that's like that. Basically, it's almost like a spin-off.
There was never a bad thing about Naked Gun.
But yeah,
No.
OJ
So-
was in it.
Never a bad thing.
but so
No, that was a great thing.
so with number 3, I'm gonna go like you were very close with the Step Brothers, but I gotta say Talladega Nights.
Okay, I'll accept that.
That was fantastic. But I do have a honorable mention. Do you guys know the French actor Louis de Funès or Funès or whatever. Like it's
Name the
It
movie.
stops at Jean Reno.
Okay,
That's about the
so-
only
so-
French actor I know.
so this guy like
and
he
just
was
because he was in Mission
so
Impossible.
he was very popular. This comedy
And
is from the 70s. So as my dad loved him, and he would always watch all his movies, and he was fucking hilarious. It's a very old school. And then the other ones that I wanted to mention. Have you guys ever heard of Bud Spencer and Terrence Hill?
No.
No.
Okay, so they're these.
I've heard of Terrence and Phillip.
Yeah.
Okay, so these
I
this
just
duo.
farted.
What color is the wind?
I believe
I don't know. Let me check.
I believe Bud Spencer already died.
Bud Spencer.
Bud.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I heard.
I
that
believe
too.
Bud Spencer already died.
He really crapped the bed before he died.
So I'm gonna pull up the images. Do you guys know these guys? If you see them.
No.
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 Okay, so they had again. I
You
grew
look
up.
like the two guys that took advantage of me on Langside that one time.
So I grew up watching these guys. Their comedy, their movies, but they had like Western movies, like bunch. They had different scenes. But their fighting scenes were the best, and the sound effects that they added were absolutely fucking hilarious. And I'm gonna try to find like a quick one, not full movie, but fighting scenes.
It's all gonna be porn. So.
Yeah.
You know.
It's just going to be two guys railing each other. Isn't this great fighting? Tommy, that's not fighting.
But so like, it's very.
And this is a comedy, you
So
said?
yeah.
Wow, the special effects.
Oh yeah.
Why does it not surprise me that Tommy grew up on watching this?
But I mean.
True story, he still wears that singlet combo there.
He's wearing it right
But-
now.
Like,
Just in
Tommy
case.
tried that move on me once. I swear to God.
I love that.
That's,
Is this a gymnastics fight scene, Tommy? Jesus.
Come on. Okay, like this is what I grew up watching as a kid, man. And it was fucking. I
This
laughed.
is explaining so much.
right.
So much.
But yeah, so I
I'm
always
waiting for the
enjoyed.
kid's help phone number to pop up after the end of this podcast.
I had to bring a little bit of Europe into this show.
Yeah.
Nomad.
Did you say 3 already?
That's 3.
Yeah, and plus 2 extra. I gave you extra time there.
Okay. Have you guys seen the movie Tag?
Yes.
Yes, that's
I
pretty
was,
funny.
I was baked as fuck, so I'm not sure if that's why it was so funny, but I was like laughing hysterically the whole time. So I'm gonna throw that in there. Okay, I don't think if I watched it now it'd be as good, but I
That's
watched.
pretty funny.
No, not
sorry.
that. The next one. So Super Bad. I watched like 5 times
Oh,
in
yeah.
the theater. It was like every time I went, I was laughing so hard that I missed whatever happened next.
Is that what started your career as an artist? You started just drawing dicks on everything?
Big veiny triumphant one?
Actually, I watched the special content about the Superbad, and so at the beginning where you have the credits, you have the guys dancing in the
Yeah.
background, like their silhouettes. Apparently, the director asked them like, "I need you to dance for 2 hours straight with Jonah Hill."
Wow.
So they were
Yeah,
literally
in front of a
dancing in
screen.
front of the screen just to get that silhouette, and they picked like the best ones for the beginning and ending credits.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I know, and like watching them dance, like those dance moves are fucking badass.
That's one thing I miss about the DVD era is special
yeah.
features to DVDs.
But you know what? On
like
Netflix, you get them.
when you
Yeah,
you do, but
Easter
it's
eggs
not
as
the
well.
it's not the
Yeah.
same. But like,
Yeah.
you used to be able to find like Easter eggs in the menus and
Deleted
stuff like
scenes
that,
and stuff like that.
and,
too,
and
yeah.
the director commentaries, like Super Troopers. If you watch the director commentaries on Super Troopers, there are 2 of them. There's one with Mac and Farva, and the other one is with
Jay,
Rabbit
probably.
and Jay Chandrasekhar. And
they are just as funny as the fucking movie
Oh, yeah.
itself.
I can't see
Just
that.
get a large farva. I don't want a large farva. I want a goddamn liter of cola.
Okay, number 3.
Ooh, okay, so I've had like 20 movies pop into my head and then forget them immediately because it's past my bedtime.
Yeah, I know. I can see that.
I'm going to go with Clerks.
Okay. Yeah, that's a great.
I didn't
that's
realize
a classic.
we were joined by Dave Wheeler here.
At least you didn't say goon.
I thought of
He
Goon. I
pushed
was like,
that
I
on them so hard.
I almost wore my
He
goon
pushed
hat
that on
today.
Tyler and Jazz, but you gotta watch Clerks. It's the
Yeah.
greatest comedy movie of all time, and everything. You're gonna love it. And they're like, yeah, we watched it. It was terrible.
Oh, it's so
He
good. I
was just
watched-
heartbroken.
I like it. I like that movie.
The
It's funny.
first time I watched it another 10 times that week. I was like, Pillow Pants the Pussy Troll. It's fucking gold.
And you know what? One thing I wanted to mention, like the first Scary movie, I think it was fucking hilarious because we didn't know what to expect.
You know what? The first one I think was the worst. Because, I mean, and okay, I know, I understand I'm on this show, but the first one was just all dick jokes. Like, there was
Exactly.
nothing else
That's
to it.
what's
There
funny.
was just dick and cum and
Yeah.
dicks and...
And the bush,
Yeah.
with followed by cum.
With the bush with
But
the
The trimmer,
Scary
hedge trimmer.
movie,
Yeah.
Scary
That's awesome.
Movie 3.
Which
I
one
think
was that?
That's the one where they were making fun of signs a whole bunch, where he's running through the cornfield
Yeah,
and he's doing
those-
the whoosh.
I mean, I think they were all fantastic, but
And-
yeah.
There's the
They were-
third one with Charlie Sheen where he gets
Yes.
hit by
Yeah.
the car at the very, where he's
Yeah.
pinned by the car.
Number
Yeah.
2 was with the scary house, right? Like
Yeah,
with
and
that
two-
crazy
with the
hand.
hand.
Two is good too, because that is one of my favorite scenes of all time too. Take my
Yeah.
strong hand.
That's the nomad's hand. We talked about it.
Yeah, that is one of my favorite scenes of all time
When-
in movies. But Scary Movie 3, I feel like was one of the best. Like
I love them
slapstick,
all. I love
like,
them all.
Yeah. Leslie Nielsen also made appearances.
Yes,
in
he
that
did.
series.
Yeah, yeah. He was the priest in the exorcism part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's gold.
You were gonna say something.
Airplane deserves an honorable mention.
Oh
Just-
God! I tried watching that with my kids a few years ago, and I had to turn it off because I was like, "You guys
Yeah.
cannot repeat these jokes
No.
in school, or
Yeah,
I will go to
You
jail."
would have been better off with Blazing Saddles.
What's Airplane? I've never
Oh.
heard of
Every joke in that movie is either racial or sexual based.
Is that 70s,
and,
right?
Yeah,
and
it's
not,
1970s.
not a
70s comedy.
single one of them is acceptable in today's culture.
I was even watching like Gilmore Girls the other day, and it's like a lot. I like to put things on in the background while I'm doing other things that I don't really need to pay attention to.
Okay.
But there's like
That daughter is just a monster. What a horrible
Oh,
human
you
being.
watch it, don't you?
I'm familiar with it.
Okay.
Yeah, I have not watched
daughter
it
watches it.
as a regular
was hot.
show, but from the
The
bits
mom
and
was
pieces that
hot.
I've pieced together, is her name Lorelai? Is that the
yeah,
daughter or the
they're
mother?
Both named Lorelai.
Get out.
What?
Get
no,
up.
one's Rory.
What a
Well, the
stupid
daughter's
show!
name's Rory,
Yeah, okay.
which somehow is short for Lorelai, which I don't understand.
Yeah,
That's stupid.
Rory is a monster. She has cheated on every single boyfriend she's had, and she wonders why she can't find a good person. It's like,
She's a
they're not
whore.
the problem. You are. You are an absolute
the
monster.
common denominator.
Yeah, you are the problem. At a certain point, like with Seinfeld, he's always dating numerous women and everything. And and they wonder like why he can't find a woman to settle down with. Because he's the problem. Same thing with Sex and the City.
Yeah.
They're the problem. Those 4 whores are the problem.
horrible,
yeah, sorry,
horrible
sorry.
people.
Those 3 whores and their mother are the problem. That's a Family Guy ripoff
Yeah,
right
yeah.
there. I don't care. That's a great line.
It is. Well, at the end of the show, we give shout outs. So, the mic is yours. You can
Yeah,
give
so I'm
shout
gonna
out to
probably
It's
do
the
anybody.
end of the
Yeah.
show.
I'm gonna have to
Yeah.
do this
It's
while I do
Wednesday.
Okay, we will allow it. We will allow it.
Whatever. I wore a Frank shirt.
That's right. Yeah, Frank's
oh,
Pizza.
I thought you were gonna shout them out.
Oh,
Yeah, he just did.
Yeah, he just
Oh,
did.
is
yeah.
that what
Yeah,
you
they,
yeah.
they make a
That's-
good pizza.
That's
and
what's
I like,
happening right now.
I've never been given a dime or any free merchandise or anything from them. I just like doing really terrible
So-
ads for them
So
that I don't get paid for.
So speaking of pizzas, have you ever tried our sponsor pizza?
no, they're on the,
The
east side
pizza
of the city,
oven.
aren't they?
Yes,
They're on
they are.
Henderson,
Yeah, exactly. I don't go to East K or North K or anything.
but
like
they
So-
deliver.
They
I mean, that's
deliver,
close
yeah.
to Transcona.
If you It's pretty far from Transcona, actually.
Yeah,
It's in the same.
No. It's actually closer
Too close
to
for
like.
my liking.
But you know what? You should really try it
Pretty
because
sure
they.
some gutter sluts have romped their way over into East K and North K.
It's right down Jaguar's street, basically. So like you get the extra Jaguar flavor on that pizza.
Ooh. A beacon of light in the
skid
valley
mark.
of darkness right there. So.
But is that your only shout out, or would you like to plug your
No,
show
God,
as well?
No, it's like I said before, Dangerously Incomparable. New episodes every Wednesday. Whiskey Tango Podcast. New episodes every Thursday.
Available on everybody's Spotify except mine.
Yeah, well, again,
That's
there's
okay.
YouTube, and so we have YouTube accounts for that. We're available on all streaming platforms. We like coming up with hilarious content on our Instagram page, so give us a follow at Whiskey Tango Podcast, and or better yet, Whiskey Tango Memes, which is Brett James's account,
fuck.
and he is a meme king.
He's a machine.
Got to give him credit for it. He is one of the
Meme
funniest
machine.
guys out there. If you're not, so give him a follow at Whiskey Tango Memes. And Sucrum's Brewing. Why not? They make great beer.
Right on.
Word.
Nomad?
I've got some shout outs. So, everyone who came to the show on Friday, and then
Name them.
a name.
Every single one.
I'm going to forget a name and seem like a dick.
That's
so
what I'm going for.
I'll name everyone but Bretzky. And so special thanks to Tommy for helping me set up and pick me up and drop me off and all that. And a special shout out to Peach because it's her birthday, or it was her birthday.
Was her birthday
Was.
on Sunday?
On Sunday.
Happy birthday.
And also for surprising me at the show. That was
awesome. Surprised all of us for
Yeah.
sure. Bretzky?
I'm going to shout out the New York Rangers for beating out the Carolina Hurricanes and giving the Jets another first-round pick. And then I'm going to shout out the Edmonton Oilers, who are hopefully winning right now because the game's on.
See, another reason why I love this backdrop. I can't watch the games. Can't get distracted.
Still looking in that direction. all the
You're just
time.
happy because I can't get drunk from taking shots for every goal.
Well, I'm a New Jersey Devils fan, so I'm not going to be paying attention to any postseason stuff for quite a while yet. So maybe 3
How's
years
Brodeur
from now.
doing?
Still retired. Still the greatest.
Bring him back. Bring him
Still
back.
the greatest hockey goalie of all time.
Probably was, yep.
Yep.
I'm going to shout out this After Dark distillery because they made
it's
a
empty.
fucking. It is empty. It's done. Fantastic whiskey. I really, really, really enjoyed it. That I'm willing to get a full case if Elsie can get it delivered. And thanks for inviting me on Friday and delivering this too. But thanks for inviting me on Friday. I really had a blast. It was really nice to be part of an art show since I'm getting into that part of industry a little bit. By the way, cool fucking art I bought on Friday.
Yeah, pull that up. That was wicked. The chick,
Which
the
leads
chick's
us
booth.
to
Shut the fuck up. The chick who was in the booth next to me, she had some. Oh my god.
It's okay. I'll cut him out.
Sorry, he ain't heavy. He's just my brother.
So I bought this art piece from this chick out that was next to you. Scotty, check this out.
What's up?
So can you can clearly see what that is, right?
That's the Joker.
Yeah, but now look closer.
Strong enough
We
to
thought it was a
care.
painting. We're like, that's a fucking sweet painting.
What is it?
This is made with duct tape.
Oh shit!
So I'll throw it in there, the picture of it. But yeah, it's like it took it must have taken forever to cut out all those little pieces. But she's fantastic. So hey, wanna fuck off? Yeah, blow into that, and then why don't you go blow me after that? You're still muted, by the way, Bretzky. Eh? So, anyways, shout out to her as well. Her name is Salem, and I'm sorry I forgot her company name, but I'm gonna plug it into the show as well. So, yeah, it was fun. I had a great time on Friday.
Yeah, me too. It's a good time.
All right.
Good time.
Fuck you. We love you. That's it. Scotty, go fuck yourself.
Thanks
Good
for
luck
having
with
me
your
on
show.
here, brother.
Yeah, no, this was awesome. I had a great time.
Tune in episode 6. We start talking about the afterlife and then realize how depressing that is, and it just goes off the fucking rails from there. So
Yeah. No, that was it was great to have you on here. I'm happy to that you joined us. I'm happy that Brett James didn't come because we don't have that much room here. He's a big fat guy, so
wow, he's a very svelte guy lately. You haven't seen him since that
He could have sat on my lap.
yeah.
He's looking better every day. He's training
Bretzky,
hard. So.
there's shortage of chairs. You guys would have broken that chair.
Yeah.
And the other thing, please leave us a voicemail anytime you want.
I'm going to.
Yeah. So
yeah.
you go to our website. It's
So this confession thing, this confession thing. So would we?
anything.
You
Anything
can
that
say anything, but a confession would be best.
Okay, so like, what kind of confession would you imagine me talking about here? Like what
anything.
Something dirty.
Something dirty.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I also
Make the nomad come.
Yeah, extra points if I sploosh on the show.
I miss hearing from Panda too. So
Yeah, you could do Panda.
if Panda ever called, that wouldn't be the worst thing.
Hey guys, it's me, Panda the dog. I just came back from licking up the mess that Nomad made when she listened to
You're
the latest
welcome.
episode of Dangerously Incomparable. That show gets me wet, and I've been fixed.
All right, and thank you to our sponsor, Safety Net Studio. Follow them on safetynetstudio.com and Pizza Oven at thepizzaoven.ca. Make sure you guys order online and use the promo code VIPOD5 to get an extra 5%. And make sure you collect all your points when you order pizzas online, and then you can use those points that are converted to dollars towards your next purchase. And shout out to Badlands Promotions. Please follow them at Badlands Promotions on Instagram and Facebook as well. Scotty, again,
Yeah,
thank you for
thanks
joining
to
us.
Frick's Natural Meats and
Oh, fuck.
yeah, right behind
you know what?
Monte Carlo car dealership.
I have to give
Frigs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Frigs.
Natural. Yeah. Meats.
Fuck,
Yeah.
I'm gonna
And
find that. I'm
more.
gonna find it. I have it somewhere.
Frigs natural meats.
Oh, that was so much fun.
That was good.
That
yeah.
was like our first real hang, wasn't it?
No, first one was the Jack song, I think. Or was that the Frigs?
Well, and
No,
that was
Frigs
part of
was
the
first.
part of the
Oh,
competition
yes.
that I
Oh,
was
yeah.
doing with Scotty.
Yeah. What was the one I did at the very end? What was it? Wilford Brimley.
Oh yeah.
I'm Wilford Brimley. I have a mustache. You have diabetes. I do too.
Well, quickly back to Frigs. I think they have the best steaks in the city.
They have the
Like,
best pepperoni sticks for
pepperoni
yeah.
sticks,
They have
like
a
anything.
lot of
Like
great
it's
meats.
always like I can tell that fucking cow was still alive yesterday, man. Like it's
And
so it's
you know,
fresh as it gets.
Like, really quick sidebar. We're not paid by Frigs, but I still feel compelled to say this. I buy a 3-pound pork butt roast and throw it in the slow cooker from like Superstore or whatever. And yeah, it tastes okay. Buy the same thing, pay maybe like $2, $3 more for a 3-pound roast, and the quality of meat
Oh.
that you're gonna get from
Fantastic.
Frigs is unmatched.
Well, because
Absolutely,
you're getting it local. You're not getting something
Yeah.
that was farmed in Alberta.
I bought
and
local
then
beef.
chopped up there and then frozen and then
Yeah, I bought
hauled
local
over
beef
here.
recently from a guy up in Arborg, and the quality from just locally sourced meat is so much better.
Oh, absolutely.
And
Yeah.
you're basically paying the same price. So it's like, okay, if I'm paying this, what the hell am I giving Superstore money for?
Oh.
Where are they getting their stuff, and how much of a profit are they taking from this? This
Yeah.
is getting ridiculous.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So yeah,
go
like
support local
Find
farmers.
yourself
They
a
need
few
it right
farmers.
now.
Yeah.
absolutely. Like even Boulevard Meats right by our house.
Yeah.
You're in the South End, right? So
No, North End.
you're North End.
Well,
It's
West
James.
End. I'm the
Okay. Yeah.
I'm the pride of Westwood, I like to say.
Yes.
Even though nobody knows me. But yeah, I'm the pride of Westwood.
But yeah, there's so many little meat shops, mom and pop shops that like just go support them because they.
If you see a high guy walking by the Grace Hospital, it's probably me.
All right, guys.
Strolling down
Loads.
Surgeon.
Hello.
Fuck you. Fuck you. We love you. Bye.
Okay, bye.
I've got these little like Scotch squares. We can actually just like put them one on each nipple, and then you can just cover them with like pom poms or something like that.
Oh yeah. Do you have
Or
pom-poms?
just our hands. I think our hands will be better.
No pom pom. Use an ice cube.
I was told this was a Christian show. What's going on here?
Oh, there's our bonus track. Perfect. Yeah. All right, Bretzky, do you want to just jump right into it?
What are we talking about today?
I have so many topics. So
Good.
Yeah, don't worry. I'll
Tommy
get
to the
it
rescue.
going. Yeah.
Pump me up with the Pina Colada song.
If you like pina
Yeah.
colada.
Escape by Rupert Holmes.
I'm singing it. Isn't that enough?
And getting caught in the
Yeah.
rain.
Yeah, it's either
do.
If you're not into yoga.
There we go.
If you have half a brain.
You may be seated. Yeah.
Wait.
I'm
No.
Wayne Bretzky.
I gotta hit record.
Oh, for fuck's
You
sake.
weren't recording that?
Audio, not video. I had to make sure that he's here.
Okay.
He's ready, and now I can actually make a new one. So
Okay, start singing again, guys. That was good.
We can't recapture that.
You
now.
Can't probably.
This
no,
is
that's
perfect
going. That's
moment.
for the bonus track.
Pandora's
Yeah.
box has been opened.
I can't hear myself actually.
That's because Tommy has you on mute.
You did turn my mic off, didn't you?
We were just being nice when we said you could come back.
It's like when
No,
you're
you
a
can't
kid.
hear anybody,
Oh,
can
no.
you? Okay.
Yeah, like my brother used to say I could play Nintendo with him and mine wasn't plugged in.
Oh yeah.
Like,
It even had the elastic
Is that
band,
better?
like the cord was still all
Is that
wound
better?
up.
Yes, yeah. Good.
Just tear that out of there.
Try
It's
that
causing
one.
a problem.
Eat it.
I probably should have brought some more of those though for hands.
Eat it. Just
All
eat
right,
it.
Bretzky.
Bow, 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 bow. Bow, 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 bow.
Are you ready?
Are you expecting an intro out of me?
Are you ready? Can I start recording? Are we
yeah.
doing again just the 2 pictures and we'll bring them in, or we just go right in?
Should we both wear bags on our heads this time?
No, let's just come in hot today.
Okay. So I'm gonna start the
You're not the last girl I
recording.
date.
You'll never know.
Hold on.